As difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to see you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello! All right, I'm sad. I'm always sad on the Friday, the last Friday, here at spring training. I love being here. The idea that I have to go home tomorrow is it's depressing, quite frankly. It's just great being here. Welcome to the Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, and the Seattle Sports application. It's a formal Friday, Brock. That's when we say it's the Seattle Sports application.
Oh, it is on Fridays?
Yeah, it's a formal Friday. That's really the only thing that makes it a formal Friday, but it's a long-standing tradition.
I'm a little bummed, too, because with the night game tonight, obviously a lot less activity.
Quieter.
And I was really hoping there'd be no activity in the weight room so I could jump over there in between segments and do some pull-ups and some push-ups and some dumbbell flies. But there's people over there and probably can't quite make that scene.
Well, I'm glad about that.
Yep.
I thought I would start today by saying that I have learned quite a bit this week. It's been great. It's been really a learning experience.
It always is.
And I've learned a little bit about a lot of things.
Okay.
For instance, I learned something about myself this week. I did. I learned something I didn't know.
Is this from your therapist to be introspective? Or?
No, I'm not currently seeing a therapist, but just my wife, the therapist, really.
Yeah.
No, this one was internal. I didn't need any help with this one. You were generous and kind, as you often are, and you brought me this nice quarter zip.
Yeah.
OSU.
Yes.
My Oklahoma State quarter zip, which I'm wearing for a second time this week because Macy, of course, is a college athlete and playing at Oklahoma State. Go Pokes. They play again tomorrow against...
In Lawrence, trying to get some redemption on those Jayhawks.
All right.
Earlier.
So big game.
Season finale. Regular season.
I realized that I like wearing this.
Do you?
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of repping someone I know or somebody connected to me in a college sport, and I'm now thinking about becoming like Marv Marinovich to Cecily. Like, I think this is going to really spark something where now I'm kind of one of those too intense dads, and I'm going to start screaming at her, yelling at her when she doesn't practice, pulling her out of school to work out like Colt Emerson was. Like, it's going to be an obsession.
Don't you know I want to wear swag one day? Do you know how cool it is to walk around?
So that was the first thing I learned about myself. And I'm sorry for Cecily.
Yeah.
She's about to become Todd Marinovich, which is tough. I feel bad for her.
Yep.
She's about to become Jared Kelnick.
No more McDonald's. Get ready for the liver, the kidney beans, the fava.
Poor kid. Poor kid. This is going to be tough on her. I learned a second thing.
Oh.
I learned that, Brock, you are a phenomenal chef. Learned it last year. It was doubled up this year. Brock made steak yesterday with potatoes and mushrooms. I'm not always the biggest mushroom fan, but the mushrooms were delicious with the steak and the potatoes. Little Caesar salad, bread, everything. Dinner was great.
The steak was cooked perfectly.
It was. Little wine. Awesome meal. And I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Because you were outshined by Shannon Dreyer, who came over the top rope with this lemon cheesecake thing that was so good.
Yep.
I had to go back for seconds and thought about driving back to the house last night just to get thirds at 10:30 last night. Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's that old sports saying: when you win, say little; when you lose, say even less.
Yeah. So you're just gonna suck
and
this one out.
I'm gonna just say I know I lost.
Fair.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because
usually
it was nothing you did.
No, and usually cheesecake is heavy. Usually you're like, oh, I'll do kind of one slice. That was so light.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Oh, my gosh, that was good.
But that wasn't the only thing I learned last night. It was quite an educational experience. I learned what happens when Maura has a couple of drinks.
Oh, geez.
I don't think I knew that before.
What? What happened?
That was a new experience for me. I'm trying to figure. Oh my God, she's beet red. I'm
I
trying
just asked you guys and you said no, you were fine.
Well, that's because we weren't on the air yet.
Oh,
Great. Salk wanted to say this more.
You think I would talk about that with you off the air, Maura? How little you've known
Fantastic.
me in all of these years.
Mm-hmm.
All I can tell you is that everyone out there should find a way to have a drink with Maura. Or 2 or 3, because it is hysterically funny. I don't know whether you noticed Justin and Brock and I laughing our butts off the entire night.
No.
But we could not stop laughing.
Oh, great.
In a good way. It was awesome. It was so fun. Maura is loud. She is.
I told you guys that before.
But I hadn't witnessed it. As soon as I walked in, I was like, "Whoa!" I got there a little late. Brock was cooking. I was otherwise.
You were the last to arrive. You made your entrance. Even TJ and Lyle beat you. Shannon was in there doing her thing. Justin was working the entire time.
Brock showed up at like 4:30.
And Brock had major energy.
We started early.
Yeah, no, I get it. And it was hot out, and Maura weighs like 65 pounds. Like all of these things factor in. But it was, Brock brings energy in a situation like this. He becomes super host, right? And he's kind of running around, and he's very intense, and he's clapping his big hands, and he's getting excited. And if you know me at all, when one person goes big energy,
you go low.
I tend to go low energy, and vice versa. And it's always balanced it out on the show.
Yep.
So once I saw that Brock was in like
mode,
hostess mode, I was like, oh. Okay, I can just be the very calm, take a little pot shot here and there guy, which is, not a role I don't enjoy. So great. So I'm just sort of in observation mode, being very quiet while Brock's running around like a wet hen. Then I noticed Maura, and I was like, whoa. What has been going on here?
I asked Brock in the car on the way over if I was loud last night.
And what did he
said
say?
no. I asked both of you guys before the show, and you were like, no, you were fine.
How?
And now, here, on the air, you out
let's,
me. Okay.
Let's ask the way you said it was so beautiful.
You know how Lyle was swallowing the microphone last night? You're talking like this? That was Maura for like 2.5 hours last night.
No, what I loved about Maura's question this morning on the drive over, and likewise, I figured Salk may bring this up, Maura. You said it so poetically, so beautifully. You said, how was my volume control last night?
I had a feeling there might have been a volume control problem.
It was fine. It was great.
Was there a volume control problem?
I will tell you
this. Listening to Maura last night was like this. Like it was just in and out, in and out, in and out. Yeah. It was great. Honestly, Maura, it was so much fun because you were, much like me, kind of happy drunk.
Yeah.
Like you're a happy,
Why
fun,
wouldn't I be?
Like, hey, this is fun.
I was
hey,
getting
let's
fed
go
at
outside.
Brock.
Lyle, you have to go check on this fruit. Come on outside with me, Lyle. It's fruit time. Hands in the air.
Oh, no. Let's be clear. I didn't go outside. I told Lyle he had shoes on. I told him he needed to go get that
Whose
fruit.
shoes are these? Who's got these shoes? We've got to go get outside so that we can find out what kind of fruit this is.
Did we ever determine? Like, I don't think anyone knows if it's a lemon or an orange or a...
Myers lemon, right? Myers lemon.
I think it was a Meyer
I
lemon.
still want to know what kind of fruit tree that is.
Oh my God, Maura trying to get Lyle to go out and pick the fruit. I had to walk out of the room. I was laughing so hard.
Let's be clear, I didn't try. I made Lyle go into the dark, and he came back with a piece of fruit.
Oh, Maura. It was delightful.
It was so fun.
I could not have enjoyed myself
He
more.
went out there with his cell phone flashlight and did it. I didn't try.
You know what else struck me, Salky?
Oh my God.
You know what else?
I don't think I've ever seen Maura laugh so hard either.
Oh, awesome. Just so much
You
fun.
want to know the best part of this? I've got a little epilogue to this story.
Okay.
I get in the car. Brock went home. He was nice enough to pick up Maura this morning, so I didn't have to. I was going back to my parents' house, so I went and dropped Lyle and TJ off in quite the neighborhood in Phoenix. In any event, I get into the car with them, and I was like, whoa, how about Maura? And Lyle's like, what do you mean? It's like, what do you mean? What do I mean? It's like, she's hammered. And he's like,
no, she was not
He was like,
hammered.
no, I didn't notice anything.
That.
I was like,
I was
you
happy.
didn't notice the volume control? And he was like, no, she's like that every day in the studio. And I was like, no, she really isn't. What are you talking about? So anyway, it was a great night. Maura, you're the best. You really are. Thank you for providing just a little bit of extra entertainment.
Oh my
in
gosh.
addition to all of your incredible hard work and everything else you do. It was a joy.
Can I just give one little tidbit / takeaway from the night as
Please
well
do.
in 30 seconds? I walked away going, you know what? Lyle and TJ are such great, partners on their show. But TJ was just mellow, like just and Lyle is like the yappy dog.
Yeah.
You know, he just kind of, and it really struck me outside of the work environment, right? Even the way he kind of, in that setting, just.
He won't let TJ finish a sentence either.
No.
It's really funny.
And TJ's like the dog whisperer.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
All right, chill, Lyle. Just relax.
Maybe Lyle and I need to get together and get our notes together to talk about what you guys did last night.
He just nibbles on brownies. He nibbles on cookies. He nibbles on G. Scotts.
Oh, my God. You did say you were impressed with how much he ate last night, though.
He did. Oh, that was awesome to see. Oh, yes.
He actually put down a full plate of food.
Like 2. It was
wow.
Tremendous.
Well, yeah. TJ also loved TJ. That's Lyle's partner on the Marine Layer. Doesn't work with us, but it's here and got the invite. He doesn't mind getting in there first. Oh, there's cheesecake. I'll take the first piece.
Let's go.
There's a plate of food. Yeah, I'll go first.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll just jump right in. Might as well be for me. All right.
Good times.
Texter says, "Oh my God, how can I be a part of this family?" LOL.
You are every day. You are every day.
You're in it. You just texted. You're a part of the family.
Yep.
Cupcake Heward playing hostess and hungover Mora. But props, Mora, because you didn't pull a Lyle and show up to work late today. Yeah, no sign of Lyle yet this morning.
Well, Brock picked me up, so he would have been sitting in the driveway while I was fast asleep.
Mora vomiting off the side of her bed. All right.
Okay, it's not that bad.
I'm just kidding. That is an exaggeration. Mora was just fun. It really was fun. All right. Let me lay it out for you today. If you missed Cal Raleigh, 6:30 this morning. Ben Williamson, my crush here in camp, 7:30 today. Young kid, very young, kind of figuring out this whole radio thing and everything else. But we taped with him yesterday, and a really cool story, to be honest with you, of how he's made it here and made another sick play yesterday. We'll play you the sound of that coming up in a minute. And then at 8:30, Julio will join us at 8:30, and we may have a surprise in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll see. Stick around. We'll give you everything you need to know, including that play from Ben Williamson and some John Schneider sound you need to hear about Geno Smith next on Brock and Salk.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Discover LeBay, America's Car Museum in Tacoma. Explore 300 world-class cars, 100 years of history, and the Shinka exhibit with 50 iconic Japanese sports cars. Thrilling race simulators and fun for the whole family. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
Crafted with precision and timeless elegance, Chris Craft boats are the epitome of sophistication and performance. For cruising, surfing, and pure pleasure, visit the new Chris Craft Northwest showroom on Lake Union during the open house through March 1st.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, cause this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The noon hour of the Bump and Stacy Show is powered every day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
It's time to go all in at Toyota of Kirkland. All in on their commitment to quality, innovation, and durability that makes Toyota of Kirkland certified pre-owned and used vehicles the best in the market. When a product is made better, it lasts longer, and Toyota of Kirkland is the place to be to go all in on your next used vehicle for that reason. With a large inventory of certified pre-owned and used vehicles with incredible savings, why not visit their wonderful staff and beautiful showroom today at Toyota of Kirkland or online at toyotaofkirkland.com and go all in on your next car.
O'Brien. Calling all pickleballers, Champions of Change and Safeway announced a multi-city pickleball tournament, including celebrity games with Seahawk legends Doug Baldwin, Mike Bennett, Cliff Averill, and more. In collaboration, Nourishing Champions campaign will be raising awareness and accepting donations to provide nutritious foods for student athletes in under-resourced high schools. You can help by donating at your local Safeway checkout. Open to all. The tournaments are in Seattle, Lacey, and Spokane. Register today at championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
They say teachers don't impact for a year, but for a lifetime. Hi, this is Rick Riz. Join WSECU, your local credit union, as we celebrate those who give so much with the Teacher of the Week program. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. Each week throughout the season, we'll honor one teacher with a $500 grant, courtesy of WSECU. Teachers are the real MVPs. Find out more and nominate a teacher at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
Seattle, it's almost showtime at T-Mobile Park. Be here when the action gets started March 27th with Mariners opening day, featuring a ceremonial first pitch from Hall of Famer Ichiro. The fun continues with Randy Arozarena Crossed-Armed Hoodie Night March 28th and Hello Kitty Bucket Hat Night March 29th. Then, don't miss the 3-day Julio Bat Flip Bobble Giveaway March 31st to April 2nd with tickets starting at $10. So get ready, get set, Mariners baseball is finally on deck. Grab your tickets at mariners.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
You know what's better than a baseball game, Brock? 2 baseball games. A split squad day yesterday for the Mariners, so...
Not when you lose both,
really, I think it's just fine either way down here in the Cactus League. Oh. Yeah, the squad that went on the road, not as many veterans. Jonathan Diaz on the hill. They got destroyed. 8-0. They lose to the Rangers. The home squad, though, they lost 6-4 to the Giants. But Bryce Miller looked very good in his first start of the spring. He faced 7 batters. He struck out 3 of them. Fastball was at 98. Tried out the new cutter. Pretty good for Bryce.
Mm-hmm. As I said, a couple years ago when we were sitting in those seats, and I remember, right, Maura, we watched Bryce Miller's first major league start here in spring training the same week we were down here, and he felt like high-effort guy. It wasn't easy cheese. You could feel like his exertion, and he just exploded down the mound. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's osmosis of being around Woo and Kirby and those guys. But now, yesterday, 98, his first time out in spring, you're like, what? Where is that coming from?
Just felt good.
And it doesn't feel like it's all high octane every time. And did I also hear a knuckleball? Did Pitching Ninja have a knuckleball?
It's hard to say. Bryce
got a knuckleball.
Dude's got a lot of pitches. Offensively, not a tremendous amount to speak of. Bliss had a triple, which was cool. That was really about it.
I mean, once you started espousing about their bats a couple days ago, look at what you did.
I really did. But I've been espousing the Ben Williamson defense, and cut one, he showed it off yesterday.
Here's the 0-1.
Swung on, a chopper right back to Bizzardo. Gets by him. It's picked up by Williamson. Throws to first in time. That's a great play by Ben Williamson, flashing the leather to get Koss. And that's the second out of the inning. Well, we've heard about his defense, and he showed it off right there.
Yeah, let me just try to describe it. Little high chopper that I don't know why Eduardo Bizzardo couldn't handle it, but it kind of went by him. Kind of a Bizzardo type of play, I guess. And shortstop didn't really have a chance, even though it was closer to him than third. And Williamson just comes into your picture from third base, scoops it with the glove, and makes a running straight at the bag throw.
Yep.
It was a heck of a play.
Yeah, you know, Mariners fans, when you've watched through the years, like Nori Aoki, some of the lines he takes, when you've watched guys try to just play first base, Luke Raley at times, even Justin Turner, as experienced he was at the other side of third, just take angles. You're like, well, that's not quite right.
Right.
This dude's angles are like a old man racquetballer. Like the Bellevue Athletic Club
so true.
champion.
That's a perfect
he does
analogy.
not miss an angle. He is all over him all the time.
And he's got a good arm, and he's got a good glove. And Perry says he's pretty good at each part of it. He's going to join us at 7:30 today.
Now he's just got to hit.
Yeah, now the other
That's
thing, and he's hit in spring training, didn't hit yesterday. I'm just going to throw it out there because he's joining us at 8:30. Julio's hitting 111. I'm not freaked out. I'm not worried about it. But, again...
And Dylan's looking for his first knock.
Here's what I'm hoping is that this is Julio's slump now, so that when he actually starts in April, you don't have to worry about
Don't look at the infield
like
numbers right now. Either. Right. Just don't do it.
Won't do it.
All right.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, you know the John Schneider Show is must-listen every Thursday leading up to the draft with Wyman and Bob. Yesterday, no different. Very candid in answering questions about first Geno Smith and then Geno Nwosu. Here, cut 3 is John Schneider talking about what's going on with Geno Smith.
We'll be meeting with him, with his guys tomorrow. We hope to, get an extension with Geno, and Geno knows he's our guy. We love him, and we want to keep going forward.
That's pretty about as direct as it can be.
Can I just say, maybe this is environmental, but can I just say that was my favorite John Schneider show that I've listened to ever.
Wow.
And at that point, I believe I was dicing the potatoes and getting the mushrooms ready. Justin was at the countertop. Maura was at the counter. We were all listening to it. And John was hyper engaged as well. Like he was in, you could tell, it's work mode. He's in his hotel room. He's on the computer. It was nice of him to join via the video there as well. And he was just, and Bob and Dave asked some great, I mean, it was meaty. It was really, really good. Right along lines there. And hopefully coming out of this combine, we'll hear that there's tentative, well, they can't get a deal done officially, but we will hear that the deal structure is in place.
I'm curious what happens there because, John is direct. We want Geno. We want him to be our guy. We want to get a deal done. It also means that if they don't get a deal done and Geno's asking for more than they're willing to give, because John has gone on to say, hey, it's got to be the right number, it's going to be like, hey, man, we wanted to get it done. It's on you.
Yep.
So there's a couple things maybe going on here. He also was pretty clear that they are working on a Geno Nwosu deal as well. While we're going through Seahawks stuff, Jordan Schultz, when he's not fighting with Ian Rappaport, was able to break a little news yesterday. He says Rayshon Jenkins, safety for the Seahawks, has been given permission to seek a trade. Probably not a huge surprise after he was supplanted by Kobe Bryant last year.
And that's usually the precursor for getting released.
Yeah.
Now,
you can try to get a trade.
Now, there's a couple safeties at the top of this board. I don't think it is a tremendous safety class. So maybe there is an opportunity that, Rayshon could look at that and go, yeah, there's a kid out of South Carolina. A few of these kids kid out of Georgia, going to be really highly thought of. But maybe there'll be a better situation because this one's got a guy named Kobe and the other team leader, Julian Love, and I need to try to find a new home.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
The dream has died, Brock. For those of you out there who were hoping Trace Smith, the big guard from Kansas City, would be coming to the Seahawks, he's not. The Chiefs are going to franchise tag him. They've already let him know. So he is not going to be available. He is going to be paid at least $23.4 million. Wow. So that is the top of the guard market. Now you know. And if you are looking for a guard or some other interior lineman, they are working out when at the Combine?
The linemen work out Sunday. They're the last crew. It was linebackers and D tackles. I'll hit on some of that in Blue 88. And kudos to Carson Bruner. Awesome day for him yesterday. The Lone Husky participating over the whole course of the weekend. But the big fellas will be over the weekend. And one more last shout out. Everything you need to know. Sports Star of the Year. Male Sports Star of the Year.
Cal Raleigh.
Our guy.
Pretty cool, yeah. Congrats to Jessica Campbell, as she was the Sports Story of the Year as well. That is everything you need to know, 1/4 every hour here in the Brock and Salk Show. You mentioned the male Sports Star of the Year was Cal Raleigh. What a weird coincidence. We're going to talk to him in just a moment, and you'll find out how he deals with each of his 5 pitchers.
Flew in late
You'll
last night,
find out how Cal Raleigh plans his future here in Seattle. Not to mention the weirdest question Brock's asked in years.
Dumper.
It's next on Brock and Salk.
How much in the dumper?
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
We are now speaking with the architect of your Seattle Seahawks.
How we doing, football fans?
With Seahawks President of Football Operations and General Manager John Schneider.
My job is to do what's best for the Seattle Seahawks organization. I have to keep wrapping my mind around that and trying to communicate effectively.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
What's the standard the Seahawks defense needs to be held to under Mike McDonald?
The John Schneider Show.
Brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month, and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Michelle Smallman here. Do you want to be at the draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Travel Wisconsin is sending 10 lucky fans and a guest to the draft. Experience the thrill of the draft firsthand and make memories that will last a lifetime. Don't wait. Enter Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes. Visit travelwisconsin.com/draft to learn how you can win a trip to experience the biggest moment of the offseason. Epic moments that become lifelong memories are waiting to be discovered across Wisconsin. Terms and conditions apply.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Washington State ranks number 5 in the country for auto theft. The most high-risk vehicles are Kia, Hyundai, Ford F-150, F-250, and F-350. Help keep your car safe with these simple and important tips. Don't leave your car running unattended. Park in well-lit areas. Lock up every time. Keep valuables out of sight. Use an anti-theft device like a steering wheel lock. Share this information with friends and family. Prevent the theft and keep you and your vehicle safe. These tips brought to you by the Washington Auto Theft Prevention Authority.
The Lee Johnson culture to me is empowering all of your employees to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. You know, there are certain things that it doesn't matter what level of employment you are in our organization. If it's not the right thing or it doesn't feel right, they have the ability to take care of the customer and make the decision without asking a manager, without asking an owner. The end result is they can speak to the customer with more confidence. They're definitely more confident in what they're trying to provide the customer, what the customer is trying to accomplish, and just giving them a better experience.
His name is Justin Meek. He's the leader and caretaker of more than 300 full-time employees for the Lee Johnson Auto family. It's the united understanding among Lee Johnson employees that customers are the purpose of our day. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Well, every year, Brock, this is one of the highlights.
That's a tradition unlike any other.
Unlike any other. Our opportunity to sit down with the catcher, Cal Raleigh. And we've learned a lot about Cal over the years and excited to do this. Cal, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys.
Is there anything new to learn this year, or do you want to just replay last year's interview? What do you think?
We can just run it back, right? Replay the old one.
Yeah.
Now, we learned about you. We learned about Jason Varitek. We've learned enough.
You made fun of Ty France stealing a base or something a year ago. Man, a lot of things happen in 365 days.
I think Ty told us he was going to steal a bunch with the shorter distance between.
I don't know if he did or not.
No,
did he get one last year?
No. I don't know.
I beat him last year.
Yes.
So. I think he did.
Yes.
I won't make a joke. I was going to make a joke about how you got to get on base to steal. I won't do that.
No.
That's just rude, quite frankly, and very unnecessary because Ty's a nice guy. How are you feeling? How do you come into camp this year?
I feel great. I feel, came in strong, ready to go. I feel good. No injuries yet, and keyword there. No, but yeah, everything's great.
You caught a lot last year. I mean, you caught a lot of games. So what do you need to do at the end of that to refresh and make sure that you come back now ready to go?
Yeah, I just think it's like a process, right? You take your time off in the off season, not just physically but mentally to kind of refresh, get away from it, and from there you start building kind of the basics with building a core of like the strength and speed, and then you keep working your way up until you get to camp and try to get into shape and just kind of build on that. And the biggest way to get into game shape is playing games. So it's hard to really do anything until you get into that kind of that space. So played 5 yesterday, felt good. Had some long innings, which is kind of good to get under your belt.
A lot of pictures floating around the interwebs, wondering is it a slim down big dumper? A lot of people wondering, is it a big dumper, slim down, leaner, move things around, or are we status quo?
We're pretty status quo, I'd say.
Status quo?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're right where we need to be. So, you have your time in the off season to enjoy some foods and some not so heavy lifting and running days. So, but yeah, once you get closer, slim down a little bit, put some muscle on, and kind of go from there.
So season ends, call it September 30th. What do you do as beat up as you are then, and especially really the last couple years, the thumb the year before, last year, all the caught games, the bumps and bruises. How long before your body actually, you wake up and you're like, oh, nothing hurts and I feel good?
It was actually weird because once I stopped moving, I actually was hurting more. It was really weird. Like
wait till you're 49.
So they say motion is lotion.
Yes.
Right? And so when I stopped moving a couple of weeks there, really all I was doing was golfing. Was the only motion. And then I was like, man, I got to start like walking or doing something just to get the joints going a little bit because I was getting, tight. And once I started kind of that first phase of lifting, I was like, all right, I feel good. Feel refreshed here.
You golf righty or lefty?
Righty, yeah.
Righty. Do you do everything else righty other than switch hit?
Yeah, everything's right. The only thing, is hitting.
And yet, in your career, haven't you been a better hitter lefty than righty? Am I crazy? Am I getting that wrong?
No, you're probably right.
Okay.
Yeah, up to this moment. I'd say last year was my first, kind of solid season from the right side as far as, production and getting, the same amount as at bats.
But when you first were handed a bat, you hit righty?
No. So I get this question all the time.
Come on, Salk,
for as long as I've known, I've been a switch hitter. So like I've never not known what it's like to be a switch hitter. My dad was a coach and made me a switch hitter from the time I could walk. So if I had to guess, I don't know. I mean, if you put a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you. I'd say maybe left because my little brother's a switch hitter as well, but he was a natural left-handed hitter. Okay. So, and we do everything the same. He's like a little, I say miniature version, but he's taller than me. So.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, and he's a freshman in high school. So
he's coming.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the rotation here in a minute and get some of your thoughts on the pitchers and
Ask you the same questions everybody
else exactly.
asks.
Yeah, the same old. But we had an opportunity to sit with Kevin Seitzer, which was fascinating. He is, as far as I could tell, the exact polar opposite of Brant Brown, who was here at the beginning of life. Just personality-wise, they seem cut from completely different cloths.
Oh, you son of a buck.
Yeah. What do you make? What have you learned? What is the new philosophy of hitting for the 2025 Mariners?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I mean, you guys have probably already talked about it a little bit, a simplified approach, staying in the middle of the part of the field. It's we like to overcomplicate it sometimes, and we like to get into the weeds and really dig into advanced numbers or, certain angles and things and metrics. But at the end of the day, it's about squaring the ball up and, getting knocks and getting the job done. So I think it's just going to be a simplified approach of going up there and not trying to do too much and, just trying to put bat on the ball. I think that's the big thing is not trying to do too much because, as hitters sometimes we all fall into the trap of, wanting to do more, wanting to manipulate the ball, wanting to force the ball to the fence when in reality, pitchers are the ones that throw the mistakes and throw the home runs. You can't really force the action. You got to take what the pitcher gives you and, early in counts, being willing to take your hit. Swinging the right pitches, kind of things like that. So
you said something that had a little football-ese to it, kind of perked my ears. And it probably shouldn't be a surprise because you're the position in baseball that wears pads. And you said the only way to really get in baseball shape as a catcher is to play baseball games and to put those pads on. In football, they like to say that's callousing. Like the only way you get in football shape is to callous one another and to hit and put the pads on and get yourself ready to go. How do you balance that? How do you balance that line between, okay, I got to get calloused, but I also got to catch 100 and how many games you catch last year? 50, whatever. How do you find that little balance? Or do you just know, like, I'm going to take a beating. Like this just comes with the territory. Just got to callous myself up as much as possible to ready for this journey.
That's a really good phrase, the kind of way to put it, the callous. To me, it's just, you got to get ready for the season. You got to be in that kind of shape to, not just only perform in one game, but perform back to back and kind of get into that mode of, because I think a lot of times, guys come into spring training and they're like, oh, I feel great. I feel amazing. But you're also, taking days off in between and you're also well rested. You're not traveling thousands of miles. You're not getting on planes, getting in at 3 a.m. So it's really almost forcing yourself, even when you don't feel good, having that kind of discipline to train, to work, and to show up each day and playing games, even when things don't quite feel all that right. Because, that's the majority of the games. There's very rarely, I think maybe the first couple games of the year is like, oh, yeah, I feel great. And then after that, no, you don't feel great. So it's just all that stuff and just training yourself, your mind, and your body to be ready for those games and be ready for, that kind of beating. And it's not just, catchers. I mean, even the infielders, outfielders, pitchers, you got to go out there and perform even when you don't feel good.
Does that come from your dad? I mean, you've received a lot of accolades in the last few years from peers, managers, coaches, et cetera, for just your ability to tough through it. Does that come from just inside you? Is that your family? Where does it come from?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest influence is my dad. He was a coach. He's always been my coach. And the biggest thing, even to this day, is he's a guy that can kind of hold me accountable and kind of tell me the hard truths. And, he brings a great perspective, to my mind a lot of the times. And he just, he's always telling me, there's a lot worse things you could be doing. You get to play baseball for a living. You get to be out there every single day. People will kill to be doing what you do. So, when you put it into that perspective and you look at it through that lens, it's like, yeah, of course I want to be out there every day, and I want to be out there for my guys, and you want to be, counted for. And, I'd say he's a huge one for me. And, he was a guy that, never took a day off, and kind of same mentality of like show up every day no matter how you're feeling, and you got a job to do. So,
is there more in the dumper?
Is there more in the dumper?
Yeah. I like to say, is there more in the tank? Is there more in your game? Or is it just like, well, you know what? He's hit 30 home runs. He's done stuff no Mariners catcher's ever done, back-to-back 30 home run years. And, like, is this the ceiling? Or do you think that there is more in the tank?
No, there's more. I believe so. I believe I can. There's plenty of parts of my game I want to improve on. You look at, like, striking out less, more balls in play, a little more better with the average. Even the catching side of it, throwing out more runners. Is there any kind of way I can get better in the leadership side? Things like that. So there's a lot more in the tank, and it's just realizing that you also don't want to lose the things you're good at. So going out there and keeping things I'm good at, but also kind of accounting for early in the off season, like, all right, these are kind of the areas I need to improve on. This is what I kind of road I want to take.
You mentioned the leadership aspect, and it's sort of the perfect lead-in, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but a few years ago you made headlines talking about some of your frustration with the way the team had been built at that time. A couple of years later, we show up here, and it was a quiet offseason for the Mariners. Some of the fan base has been, what's the right word for it? Vocal about some of their frustration, or let's just call it restlessness. How does that sit in the clubhouse with you and with your teammates?
Yeah, I think the way we look at it is we have a job to do, and we have to go out there and we have to kind of look internally, right? We can't really worry about what's going on outside of us and outside the team, things that we can't control. The things that we got to worry about is us, and we got to continue to get better, and we got to kind of own up to maybe our shortcomings and maybe where we fell short, and understand that we're not perfect, and we gotta get better in each phase of the game, and that's everybody from top to bottom, doesn't matter. Even the starters, as good as they are, they can still improve their game, and as hitters, we know we need to take a big step up as well. And so it's more about looking internal and like, all right, we need to kind of get our crap in line. We need to get going and kind of step up this year.
Was there some communication too in the off season? Were you in communication with Dan or Justin or Jared, somebody along the way, sort of just staying with you as one of the team leaders as the offseason progressed?
Yeah, I got to talk to Dan a lot this offseason. That was more, I'd say, baseball, more so than it was front office talk or anything like that. We kept it kind of straightforward in the sense of this is kind of how we're approaching spring training, what we want to accomplish, where we see where our team at right now, and what kind of we can improve on. Kind of like I was talking about, like internal, like what can we control, what can we get better at, and I think that's something that we can make a big emphasis on this spring training.
What should we know about Dan Wilson?
Well, I think you guys all know how awesome he is as a person, right? I mean, everybody loves Dan Wilson, but I think kind of the fierceness side of him, the competitor side of him is a real thing, and he has that kind of fire. I think it's maybe you don't see it as much because in the day-to-day he's such a nice guy, and he's so good with everybody, with relationships and things like that. So, but the guy wants to win. The guy has that kind of fire in his belly as far as he wanted to go out there and compete and win and not take crap from anybody. So that's the side I think you'll see on the manager side. The thing maybe you haven't seen quite yet. But the guy, he wants to do it the right way, and he wants to get this thing done.
Do you enjoy managing all your different personalities? We've chatted with Bryce. We've chatted with Mr. Wu. We're going to chat with Logan. Right, we get a chance to spend 15, 20 minutes with them. They're all, and we haven't even chatted with Kirby, I don't think, hardly ever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all uniquely different. And Luis, do you enjoy kind of unlocking, communicating, needling, just managing? You're kind of the manager, right? Managing those relationships, pitcher, catcher-wise?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think it's fun. It's not easy, but it's a lot of fun. And it's kind of like you said, they're all different. And the way that you talk to them, the way you approach them, how they feel on certain things, how they react to certain situations is completely different. And that's top to bottom. That's starters all the way down to the relievers. And
Can you give us an example of that?
Yeah, I mean, there's more guys that, I'd say in general, I'd say the example is like, some guys you want to talk to maybe a little differently in the sense of like positivity. You want to build them up. You want to tell them how good they are. You want to tell them, how tough they are to be, how tough they are as pitchers to face, and how hard it is for hitters to kind of square that ball up, and it kind of gives them that confidence back. Whereas maybe some other guys, you're kind of getting on them a little more, saying, I know there's more in the tank. I know you can do more. Like, I know you can give me like a little extra. And, each guy is a little different in the sense of that. And you pick your spots. There's times and places where you do have those conversations and places you don't.
Who's the most confident guy on the staff?
Confident.
I won't ask you the opposite. That's not fair. But the most confident guy on the staff?
That's a tough one. I mean, there's a lot of confident guys. Staff, I don't know. I'd say, I don't know. Bryce has got this kind of confidence to him in the sense of like he's never like, never worried, same heartbeat the whole time. He's kind of got that. Louis kind of got this swag about him where he just walks out there and you're like, damn, that guy's. He's going to shove it down my throat kind of thing, and nothing affects him. Logan has this kind of mentality of, like, go kill the guy, like, where he's kind of got this psycho kind of.
That's Walter.
That's Walter. George is kind of, like, silent, but, fierce out there just in the sense of, like, just get after you. And then, Woo's still kind of coming into his own in the sense of trying to find himself full season. And but when he locks it in, he's about, the hitters, when they get to first base, they're like, that's different.
Yeah, what is the deal with his fastball? Well, I mean, why can't people hit his fastball?
I would look at guys like example, like a Woodruff with Milwaukee, Freddie Peralta with Milwaukee as well, Zach Wheeler, Jacob deGrom. Like, I know I'm not just throwing those names out at you guys. Like, that's the kind of stuff that he has, and like he's been blessed with that, like easy down the mound. He moves really well. Like, you just look how easy and how easy. Like, you see how like. It just flows down the mound, and like all those guys have that kind of similarity if you go and watch, and he has that. And like, I don't say that lightly, but like he has.
So does the ball get on you quicker because of it, because it's an easy delivery? You're not expecting it to be as fast as it is, or to get where it's going as quickly?
Yeah, I mean, it comes out so smooth, and it's so efficient and like easy cheese. You know what I mean? Like, you see some guys out there and they're grunting and they're throwing hard, but it's max effort. And like, you see him and you're like, is he even going like 60%? And he's throwing 95 and he's just blowing it by people. And it's what that deception is killer.
The other day, Salk and I were chatting last couple minutes here with Cal Raleigh. Thanks again for all the time. One of our highlights every year. We were just chatting about how, man, every once in a while at this level, right? You guys are the 1% of 1% to make it to the bigs and all of it. People and you guys will marvel at each other, like, wow. And obviously Mooney's change up the other day, right? That 10-inch drop, just wow. Mm-hmm. How many times do you and can you still be wowed? Where you in your position who have caught everything, seen everything, hit everything, where you're just like, dang, that's different.
That's different.
Yeah, I mean, they keep finding ways to do it, right? I mean, with like pitches and just coming in. And I think it just like speaks volumes to guys wanting to get better.
Yeah.
And, it's trying new things. It's not being scared, it's having that kind of mentality, that edge to you. Like, I want to keep getting better. I want to keep continuing to find ways to get guys out. And I want to see if I can improve my game in this aspect, and not being scared to go out there and try those things, because at the end of the day, you can't play scared. And those guys don't play scared. They go after you and they try new things. They're not afraid to fail, and kind of speaks volumes to the kind of staff and how they go about it.
You guys got a team that can make the playoffs and win some games?
We do. I'm really excited. I've liked what I've seen so far with the guys. They're ready to go, and I'm ready to go to war with these guys. It's they've had great off seasons, and I know we're all really excited about what's to come, and I think we're ready to take that challenge on and take that next step.
I hate to ask a business question, but I'll slide one in here at the end, because I know you changed agents somewhat recently within the last year, and I know there's a lot of Mariner fans that saw that news and hoped that it was a sign that maybe you were interested in signing a long-term deal to stay with the Mariners for quite a few more years. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I would love nothing more to play for one team my whole career, and Seattle has been nothing but good to me. You guys and everyone else, they've welcomed me with open arms, and the people are great. I love the city. I love this organization, and I really would love that. Some of that's out of my hands, obviously.
But are you someone that feels you have to test free agency? You owe it to yourself to get and see what the open market is, or is it a possibility to sign something before then?
No, I'm completely open to signing something before then. Like I said, I would love that, nothing more than that, to be with one team, and I love this org, and I'm open to anything. I'm not closing any kind of books or whatever it is, but I'm not closing any possibilities, and I want to have all the options I can. So. And
last thing for me, and Salk mentioned this earlier, your comments a couple of years ago, I think there was just an infusion of love from the fan base. Your home run went a long way in that as well, of getting to the playoffs. Do you feel like, man, I can feel these fans and how badly they want this? Do you guys feel that? Do you feel that in your position, that this is a fan base that is just starving to get to a World Series they've never been to, right? To get to some of these mountaintops as an organization with all these Hall of Famers, great, they've never gotten there. Do you feel that when you're around town and in the building?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and it makes it difficult when you come up short, because, it's not just you're failing yourself, you're failing your teammates, your coaches, but you're failing, fans and people that invest time and money, because at the end of the day, the game is about the people who, care about us, and the people who come out to the games and the city, and that's what makes it so much harder. Is it's not just we're not just failing as a team that year, we're failing other people, and I think it's tough because we made it and we saw how much joy and how much it brought to people and how much it meant to them, and to come up short, it's like you don't want to come up short again because of how it makes those people feel and how many people are relying on you, in that kind of sense of after you've been there and done that, and how many people it kind of touches, and that's kind of makes it kind of bigger than baseball.
Cal, we appreciate it. It is truly one of our highlights each year when we get to come down here and sit and hear from you and hear your perspective on things. We really do appreciate it. Thanks for doing it, and good luck this year. We'll look forward to watching.
Appreciate it. Hit him straight.
Thank you, Cal. Appreciate that as well. And then he was awarded really last night as the Sports Star of the Year, and I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely the right guy. I mean, he is now, I think, because of the second year of almost exactly the same production in a row, coming off of the breakout year with the big home run to send them to the playoffs, he really has established himself, maybe not as, one of these baseball superstars, but as that, like, hey, he's the star of this team right now, or at the very least, he's the guy you believe in most of.
Yeah, and I think what is nice, and it's a rarity in Major League Baseball, is to have a hyper-productive catcher, but it's also a rarity for that catcher to be the real leader. How many of those around all of baseball right now? I think when you and I were growing up, it felt like there were more of them. Right, I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it at least felt that way.
Well, we grew up with Johnny Bench, and some of those guys, Carlton Fisk, yes. And then that led into the Posadas and the Veritek's and the, eventually Buster Posies and Joe Mauers. Yeah, I think that's right. There are fewer of them.
There's not many of them.
No, but I mean, I think that
Salvy's still doing it in Kansas City, and you kind of see what a rock he can be.
This generation with him and Adley Rutschman, like, there does seem to be kind of a next generation. Yep. Coming up, but I think your point is very well taken, and I'm glad. I'm really glad Cal's here. You talk about how there aren't that many, or how great it is to have a productive catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the reason you and I both found ourselves, focusing there on what do you do to keep your body ready?
Yes.
Because I know, I'm sure if you're Cal Raleigh, you're like, dude, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm a tough guy. I can do it. But unfortunately, you know who else is a tough guy? Joe Mauer. Like, eventually, Buster Posey. Eventually, the position just catches up with you.
Father Time speeds up faster at that position.
It just does. And, there may be a time where Cal's going to have to learn to play first. There may be a time where Cal's going to become more of a DH more often. And I know he wants to go out there and play 135, 150 games a year, a catcher. I also think Dan is going to have to pull that back and just be like, look, there's a long-term future to think about.
Well, last year that was Sevy Zavala coming out of camp. This year it's Mitch Garver. In a very clear, in a very defined role in that way. You can be the backup, and he's good. And he's got guys like Kirby and others that I think really enjoy when he catches for them. So, yeah, Cal, as I said to the guys yesterday when I jumped on with Wyman and Bob, they ask, leadership-wise, who jumps out? You just can't get away from Cal Raleigh. More and more, his presence and voice is growing down here.
All right, we've been down here for a full week. Tragically, this is the end of that week. I've got some takeaways of things I've felt and seen and experienced this week, Brock, kind of some big picture stuff. We'll run through them together next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
When a team tells you over and over and over and over, whether it's John Schneider saying, he's our guy, or it's Mike McDonald saying, we like Geno. Don't know why it's such a big discussion. When a team is basically screaming at you, we're going to extend this guy. We really want to keep him. I think at that point, you just need to accept, okay, what's the real conversation we need to have about Geno then? Because it's not going to be whether or not he's here.
He's going to be here.
Yeah.
This is the guy, and I've been trying to prep y'all for this, but for some reason,
People
y'all don't want to listen to me.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season's first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 2nd at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Are you looking at diversification and stability with your investment portfolio, especially with the volatility right now in the stock market? Hi, I'm Scott Riereka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years. We've had 0 investor losses and have averaged double-digit returns since inception. Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given market conditions. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Legacy's Northwest Fund also accepts IRA accounts as well. Find out why over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Get in touch with us today. Legacy's Northwest Fund returning 9% has limited opening for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Hey, do you like spending extra money? Who doesn't, right? No, nobody does. And especially when it's on something like your utility bills, right? If those are noticeably higher in the winter or your home feels drafty, it could be because your attic and crawl space aren't properly insulated. It's Mike Salk here, and utility companies have special incentives to help with the cost of having your home properly insulated, including a once-in-a-lifetime rebate from Puget Sound Energy. So if you're a PSC customer and your home was built before 1990, you may qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, they'll cover up to 95% of the cost. So don't wait. Take advantage of an incredible rebate today. Call Crawl Pros and learn what's going on behind that crawl space and attic hatch for free, and also what energy rebates you're eligible for. These guys are great. Did an awesome job at my house. So if you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Crafted with precision and timeless elegance, Chris-Craft boats are the epitome of sophistication and performance. Each is a masterpiece designed with superior craftsmanship, exquisite materials. No matter your pleasure, cruising, surfing, or performance from 24 to 35 feet, it's at Chris-Craft Northwest. Look at the rest and experience art in motion. Chris-Craft Northwest. See the difference at the new Chris-Craft Northwest showroom on Lake Union during the open house through March 1st. Visit chriscraftnw.com.
Want a golf course quality lawn? It's easier and more affordable than you think with True Green. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, True Green brings pro-level expertise straight to your yard, so your lawn can look like a fairway. Sign up by March 10th and get one free application. Plus, you'll get True Green's price match guarantee. If you're not satisfied, True Green will revisit your lawn between scheduled visits to make it right. Visit TrueGreen.com today to get a free application. Offer ends March 10th. Restrictions apply.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
All right, final day of our experience here at spring training. Don't worry, it will continue next week, just in the afternoons. Wyman and Bob will switch spots with us. They'll be out here in the afternoons, talking to the players, managers, coaches, front office folks, the whole deal, and you'll get a totally different view on what's happening down here.
But kudos to them, or thankfully for them, they've got Justin Barnes down here next week, too.
Yeah.
So he'll keep doing this magic.
How about that?
Videos.
They get to hang with Betsy too, so they'll
well,
now
we'll see
in
that.
theory, I guess.
We'll see about
that. It's been a fun week, Brock. I wanted to give some takeaways and thoughts, and they're more big picture. We've given you guys some of the specifics that I think we've seen over the course. Who looked good, who didn't look good, who looks in good shape, what positions, etc. This is more of kind of general feel takeaways that I'm not sure you could get unless you were here, right? So I'm not going to give you Julio's numbers or anything like that. By the way, Julio Rodriguez joins us at 8:30 this morning. Not going to give you specific names for the most part, but just a feel thing. And my biggest feel of this camp is that it's very smooth and very, I'm going to use the word friendly. It's not overly intense. There's not a lot of negativity. I thought that was something that really was on my mind to look at when I got here. What would be the positive versus negative vibe of camp? Would there be hangover from either a managerial change last year or sort of the quiet off season? Fans are frustrated or disappointed. There is no sense of that here. None. Zero. Now, that doesn't mean it's not lurking. I don't know. Maybe it comes out if you go on a 5-10 game losing streak, or you finish below 500 in April or whatever, maybe some of that comes out. But just being here, I don't sense any of the frustration that you get when you're back home.
No, and because I think these guys enjoy one another in that comfort of continuity. Now, maybe from afar you say, hey, man, enough. Like, you've come up short, you've come up short, you've come up short. You're good, you're not great. We got to mix this thing up, and, we got to create some more friction and some more tension. Nope, that's not the route they went.
That's not how the feel of the players
No.
is. Now, that being said, kind of my second point, it does feel good, not great. I think that's exactly the right way to describe this team. There's a lot of good players out here. You walk around, there's a lot of good players. It is still missing, and I've been in spring trainings with stars. You're missing some of that.
Yep.
You're missing the guys that walk around and are just different. Julio is obviously of that ilk.
Like when I'm in a kitchen.
Well,
I mean, just kind of some of that just...
Kind of like when Shannon's in the kitchen, to be honest.
Okay,
Pretty darn good there yesterday. Kind of the all-star.
Well, she's more of the silent killer.
Ah.
Remember, she had a prep the night before. She had all ready to go in there.
Yeah, she's got a routine, Brock. Just like the guys told us. You got to have a good routine.
I would stick up for you, Brock, but you were part of ambushing me this morning, so you're on your own.
Oh, poor Maura had one too many last night and got a little loud.
Michael, stop
Why?
it.
She was working for one too many hours.
Mike, it's not called loud. It's called volume control.
I'm sorry.
Okay, very easy.
I know what it's like when you see the stars walk around and feel it. Julio's obviously has that vibe.
Yep.
Yeah. That's kind of where it ends.
Yeah.
And
for as dominant as Luis and Logan and Bryce and George, pitchers just it is different.
Now, one of my other takeaways, and I guess you lead me to it, is everything here is built on those 5 guys.
Correct.
It really is. It's all built on the rotation. And while none of them exude that sort of too good for school star energy as a group, there is star power.
Yeah.
And you feel it when they walk around together as a herd.
Yep.
You kind of feel that kind of, hey, we're the kings of this castle as a fivesome together. And that is cool and kind of unique.
It's funny you bring that up. It's kind of, what I tell you all the time. The nice thing about a football team when it's built with the O-line is that's half your offense. That's 5 guys. And this feels, to that kind of regard, almost like you have a great offensive line. Now, where's the wide receiver? Where's the running back? Where's the quarterback? Where's the other, right? The other flair, because you got those, the foundation, and that's so stable and gives you such a starting point. But, yeah, the rest of that star power,
and there's some guys that could try to pull it off, right? I mean, again, can it work? If Randy Arozarena has his best season, which he's capable of, is he one of those guys when he's at his best? Yeah, I think so. I think the best version of Randy Arozarena kind of, drifts into that category. If Victor Robles is the player he was in the last month and a half, 2 months of last year, yeah. I mean, those are guys who play at that same kind of level. But without that, there is just that feeling of like, okay, you've got a star herd of these 5 starters.
Right.
And when when Munoz gets out on his bullpen or Brash is like
Santos,
there's still an element of like, okay, you've got some real muscle in that pitching staff, even through the bullpen. But
and then Bob Silton hits you with the same question he hit me with, and that is, well, how do you feel about Luke Raley, Dylan Moore, JP, and Polo at third? Like,
it's a tough one.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Like when you hear that out loud, it's like, yeah, you're still. Yep. And all those guys could have good years. Like there's a reason to believe in each of them, but you do feel like you're missing a little bit more of that certainty that you would like to have. Here's another thing I really felt this week. Felt the youth coming. Much more so than in the past few years.
Yes.
Totally there is an interesting mix of veterans and kids. Yep. By the way, as you've mentioned, close group. They seem to like each other. They talk to each other. The veterans don't seem to be afraid of the kids or blocking them out. The kids don't seem to be shy or lacking for confidence. But there's a nice little mix. We've been talking about the Williamsons, the Colt Emersons, the Felnine Celestines, the Las Montezes. And you can feel them coming.
Yeah, you'll hear from Julio. I asked Julio about that. Can he sense it with Laz in particular? Because Laz got a lot more charisma. We've heard he's kind of a bigger-than-life guy, but when you watch him around here, from some of even the English he'll say to us, watching him yesterday with Julio in the cage, and Laz was in there, and Julio was just, great mentorship. They're working back and forth. But Julio will tell you, they got a little ways to go yet. But they're closer than they were last year by a long ways. You do.
Just to use, is that Pete's word that you used to get all the time?
100%.
You can feel them. I think you can really feel some of those kids coming.
Yep, I would agree with that. Is this projecting, and you could totally disagree with me if so, but I feel like Julio is going to go from a receiver to a defensive end linebacker.
Just size-wise?
Just edge-wise. Like, don't mess with me. And we saw that earlier this week. We've heard some of the like there's just a little bit more in year number 4 now of an edge. This fun-loving spirit still be there. No fly zone to the fans, yes. A huge smile, a magnificent energy, sure. But just a little bit of like, okay, it's time to go now. Like, I don't like my numbers dipping and dipping and dipping. Like, it's, I'm not going to screw around. Like, let's go. And just a little more linebacker, a little more ends, a little more defensive player, a little more aggressor, rather than the offensive.
Well, that's why we
player.
didn't want to go back and tell him that we had nearly lost the interview we did with
No,
him. Because
no,
now there's
no,
just
no,
a
no,
little
no.
bit more aggressor
No,
there,
uh-uh.
a little more edge. We were a little
Could you
afraid
imagine
of
if that
where
would have
it was gonna
happened
go.
last night, Salk?
Yeah, oh my gosh. That would have been quite the combo. How do you think you would have handled that last night?
Maybe great. Maybe that would have been better.
Hey guys, I lost the Julio interview. Woohoo! All right.
To be fair, her arms don't swing like
a little
that.
bit.
No.
I did notice some of that. Some of the like what do you call the little the inflatable long arm
Outside of like a
thing?
tire shop.
Yeah, there was a little inflatable long arm thing going on for Maura yesterday. Oh, poor Maura's really taken the brunt of everything.
Can you
this week.
stop it?
It
Can
is
you stop?
without
Lyle
Lyle
might
here.
be right when he's not here.
Where is our little yapper?
Without Lyle here, Maura really takes the brunt of the abuse. All right. Ben Williamson has been my little baseball crush this week. He's going to join us in 20 minutes. Young third baseman who I think is going to contribute at some point this year. You'll hear from him after everything you need to know next. What is John Schneider going to do with Geno Smith this week? Well, we got that sound for you coming up.
All teams on the East Coast are better and more important and deserving of full coverage, and we've always said this.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
It's true.
Clearly.
I love me some East Coast teams.
I love East Coast bias. It's not even bias, it's just truth.
It's just,
You know how I feel about my East Coast teams.
I'm just aggressive because of the East. I like the East Coast aggressiveness.
Yeah,
That is
same.
who I am.
I want to try to mimic it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the show anytime on demand by subscribing to the Bump and Stacy podcast.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Protein, protein, protein. Everyone is trying to get protein in their diet, but we need fats too. Healthy fat, that is, like the rich, natural peanut and almond butters found at G2G protein bars. Most bars don't have it because, well, most bars aren't real food or refrigerated. Fortunately for you, we aren't most bars. At G2G, you'll find a balanced helping of protein and healthy fat. The fact that they're delicious is just the bonus. They're fast, easy, and perfect for on-the-go families. G2G protein bars. Find them in the refrigerated section at Costco.
Discover LeMay, America's car museum in Tacoma. Explore 300 world-class cars, 100 years of history, and the Shinka exhibit with 50 iconic Japanese sports cars. Thrilling race simulators and fun for the whole family. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through March 4th, get fast, reliable Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 1 year with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add an unlimited mobile line. And ask how to get an eligible free 5G phone with trade-in. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Requires pre-post bill and auto-pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required. Reduced mobile speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Data thresholds and actual internet speeds vary.
Stream every Seattle sports show with the Seattle Sports app. Brought to you by Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center Proton Therapy. Get new videos, podcasts, and articles on the Seahawks and Mariners from your favorite Seattle sports personalities daily.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Watch your favorite show live at seattlesports.com.
No matter how old you get, you always remember that one great teacher. Hi, this is Rick Riz, inviting you to join WSECU in celebrating Teacher of the Week. Great teachers inspire. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. This year, we're going to honor 24 great teachers with grants of $500, courtesy of WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Teachers are the real MVPs. Nominate an exceptional teacher now at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Lee Johnson Auto Family. This is King. This organization's a special one. They call it the Lee Johnson Auto Family, and it's not just a name, it's not just some cliche. They foster an environment for us to become a family, to work together, to really become close, and they show us in a lot of different ways that they do value us. Is it perfect? No, no place is. But I've been very thankful to be here in the almost 10 years and have every plan to stay here for a lot longer and just watch it continue to grow.
He's fun and professional, which explains why so many people visiting Lee Johnson Kia ask for him by name. The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Oh, big split squad day yesterday for the Mariners before a night game tonight. So the facility pretty empty this morning. The guys don't get here until after lunch. Both teams lost yesterday. Jonathan Diaz started against the Rangers on the road with a whole bunch of the kids. They got beat up 8-0. Home squad, 6-4 they lost, but that was Bryce Miller's first start. He looked really good. Go 7 batters, struck out 3 of them. Fastball, 98 miles an hour. I mean, man, again, if Bryce is going to be like that, and if he's the next guy to take the star turn,
if he's your 4th,
it's really sort of absurd.
A lot of teams first, darn near close to it, right?
Yeah.
So again, when you talk about like greatness and star power and those things, my goodness, your 4th or 5th would be the 1st or 2nd for a lot of teams around the league.
I think that's 100% true, and you can really kind of feel it. Ben Williamson flashed the leather yesterday. You're going to hear from him in a few minutes. The offense was not spectacular once again. A couple of guys at the, bottom of the roster who are not going to make this team did have a few hits. The one bright spot, cut to Ryan Bliss, who's been one of the more productive players in camp so far.
Here's the 2-1.
Swung on, lifted, center field, hit well. Lee is back. He's at the track, goes to a slide, and he makes a sliding, tumbling catch. Or no catch. Around third base is Hunt. He's going to score. Bliss into third. The throw goes over the head of the third baseman off the Mariners dugout. And Bliss is safe at third.
Yeah, he took one to the wall at Camelback the other day as well.
And he took one over into the batter's eye on Saturday.
Yeah, that dude's got some snap for 150-something pounds.
Yeah, he's got a little speed. He's got a little.
He got a
see
lot
the
of
little
speed.
flip he made on a defensive play at Camelback the other day, coming up the middle, little quick flip. Like, he's twitchy. If Dylan Moore, Dylan Moore's going to get a chance, I think, to play against both righties and lefties to start the year. If and when that doesn't work, I think you're going to see a little bit more Ryan Blaze.
You like how it kind of has worked both times I've done it? I've not overdone it. My volume control has been okay.
Yeah.
It's been enough. Do you like each time, it's happened now twice, where he walks by and I start singing, she's an 8, she's a 9, she's a 10, I know, and he turns around with that big old, he too
big smile.
has got a 50,000 watt smile.
Yeah,
Man. That guy got
He's
a lot of
a
joy.
pretty good little dude. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to chat with him this week. Maybe we will at some point.
Well, we got to say
some stuff.
Yeah.
He is sort of an afternoon show kind of an interview,
No
too,
question.
with that kind of a personality.
No question.
I mentioned Ben Williamson, the young 24-year-old with a shot, I think, to play this year. Going to join us coming up in 10 minutes.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
John Schneider wants Geno Smith to be his quarterback next year, and it seems like he is taking strides to make sure that happens. John Schneider show yesterday, a must-listen every Thursday with Wyman and Bob leading up to the draft. Cut 3, John was asked where they're at with Geno.
We'll be meeting with him, with his guys tomorrow, and we hope to, get an extension with Geno. And Geno knows he's our guy. We love him, and we want to keep going forward.
Okay, so I'll give you my hat and put on your agent hat. Is that relationship or is that leverage?
You know me. I think everything's leverage. I don't
Is
think
that-
John Schneider.
hey,
I don't think there's any
we're
reason
good
to
friend-
say
you-
anything out loud.
We're good friends. Earlier this week,
Yeah.
we got a lot of we've done a lot of deals. Good
I'm
friends.
sure he's going to cut us a good deal because we're sure not going to give him a bad one.
Leverage or relationship?
I think that's very much about leverage because John's a pretty smart guy. I don't think he comes out and gives away anything for no reason. He didn't get tricked into an answer or two on Geno Smith. He's obviously.
Did you listen to? Did you see
got a
that little
reason
clip floating around yesterday? Maybe we've got to add it to our poo-poo takes or our bad takes or whatever we call. Did you see Mike McDonald answering Chris Sims and Florio's question yesterday?
No.
Oh, it's.
Oh, where he said that's a bad take.
That's a bad take.
Yeah.
That's a bad take. That's a bad take.
There's also some Uchenna Nwosu conversation, wondering whether or not they are working on something to make that cap figure a little better while he sticks around. Schneider gave a pretty funny answer in cut 4.
You saw there was some maneuvering with a trigger date with Nwosu. Are you guys working on restructure to sort of lessen the impact of that cap hit with him?
Yes.
All right. And then you also
but
made
it's a process that we're working through, and we met with his guys this week, so we'll continue to do that.
That'll teach you not to ask a yes or no question.
As Maura said so well yesterday, as we were listening to that live, and we loved it. That is Bob's go-to. All right. All right. That is. Okay.
That's a pretty good one. Jordan Schultz reporting the team has given safety Rayshon Jenkins, who Brock, I still wrote as Rayshon Jennings this morning in my notes. He has permission to seek a trade after being really replaced last year by Kobe Bryant.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I know there's been a push for Trey Smith, the big guard out of Kansas City, in free agency. Would he be a game changer? Yes. Is he coming here? No. He's not going anywhere. The Chiefs told him yesterday that they would be franchise tagging him at a rate of $23.4 million for just this season. So they'll try to work out a long-term deal. But in the meantime, they're going to throw the franchise tag on him.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember what Steve Hutchinson's contract as a Hall of Fame offensive guard was. And when the Minnesota Vikings wrote that infamous poison pill into the deal for Tim Ruskell and Holmgren and all of that, I know somewhere Steve Hutchinson's like, what?
Yeah, no kidding.
These guards are going to make what? And he's just the start of it. There are a bunch of really good guards on this open market, and they're going to be making more than they have ever made in their lives.
That was Combine yesterday. Day one of them really working
fun.
out.
Yeah.
I saw you cooking while watching the Combine.
Yeah, I mean,
rocking his element.
Miss Volume Control got that sucker up there on Hulu. We were watching it. It was awesome. And
watched your guy Carson Bruner.
Carson Bruner may or may not have had some stuff riding on that, and he ran under 4.6, which was great for him. A lot of, just I didn't have the volume, real high and listening to it, but if I did, I'm sure I could hear Daniel Jeremiah going, "Yep, a lot of big men running and jumping really fast and really high in very unique ways." So I'll give you in Blue 88, I'll give you a couple things at those two positions that jumped out with a little bit of a Seahawk lens.
All right, that's everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour.
Well, one more thing. Can we give a shout-out to Cal? I mean, Cal was kind enough to join us this morning. He flew home real late last night from Seattle, and he was Male Sports Star of the Year.
Yeah, well-deserved for Cal. And I did see Jessica Campbell was the Sports Story of the Year, the Kraken assistant coach. That is a really cool story.
And the gymnast that got robbed of her bronze medal, Childs, was the Sportswoman of the Year. Jordan Childs. So there you go.
Right. Well, good stuff.
Oh, and Mike Lefko looked good, suited and
did he? I didn't see any of that.
Suited and booted.
Really?
Yeah, he got to interview Jessica Campbell and Cal Raleigh for Seattle Sports.
And the glove, Gary Payton was there. Yeah. Lefko, when he gets cleaned
Jessica
up.
Campbell does interviews? I know we've tried to get her on the show, but Kraken still haven't come through with that. So
when Lefko gets
maybe one day.
When Lefko gets dressed up, he looks
I bet
good.
he looks good.
He looks good.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me even a little bit. All right, coming up next, he's been my baseball crush since we got here. I really like everything I've seen from Ben Williamson. You want to know how he is at doing his first ever radio interview? Stick around. You'll hear it next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
I think you play as long as you still love it. You of anybody would be on board with that. You've talked about it a million times. It's no good on the outside, and you were trying to make a comeback at 40. And
except for this show, I wouldn't leave, seeing Matt and Mike every day. I mean,
it's really what brings joy to you every day, those two.
Even if a team came calling right now, theoretically, said, "Wyman, we want you."
You're trying to kill me, right?
Yeah, you got one play in me, and I'm going on IR for the rest of the season.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Yep, Mike Salk here, and luxury. Yes, luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. That's where comfort meets elegance. And this summer, they're adding the hotel. We've been waiting for this, and it's going to be so sweet. Grand Suite, Signature Suites, Deluxe and Premium, King and 2 Queen rooms. It's going to be awesome with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Oh, yeah, destination spa, 2,000-seat entertainment space, convention center, and new food venues, restaurants as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. For more details, go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Swedish Cyberknife has been serving the Pacific Northwest with innovative and compassionate care since 2006. Being able to precisely and accurately deliver radiation makes a difference in terms of controlling cancer and reducing the risk of side effects. The treatment is completed in only 5 sessions, lasting less than an hour. Patient surveys consistently give Swedish Cyberknife the highest of rankings. Swedish.org/Cyberknife Prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Something amazing is happening here. The next era of AI has arrived. CDW data engineers are helping organizations harness the power of AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. The power to run workloads faster means greater productivity, giving your business a better shot at success. Intel and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Intel Client.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
It's time to go all in at Toyota of Kirkland. All in on the largest savings opportunities on the largest inventory of Tacomas, Tundras, Prius, and the BZ4X. The incredible team at Toyota of Kirkland is all in on your car buying experience. They'll set you up with a test drive and you can take that car home on the same day. Come on down to Toyota of Kirkland and get all in on the best deals with the best inventory. Check out their wonderful showroom today or go all in online at ToyotaofKirkland.com.
O'Brien. Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at ProSculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
Crafted with precision and timeless elegance, Chris-Craft boats are the epitome of sophistication and performance. Each is a masterpiece designed with superior craftsmanship, exquisite materials. No matter your pleasure, cruising, surfing, or performance from 24 to 35 feet, it's a Chris-Craft Northwest. Look at the rest and experience art in motion. Chris-Craft Northwest. See the difference at the new Chris-Craft Northwest showroom on Lake Union during the open house through March 1st. Visit ChrisCraftNW.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, Brock, I said that we wanted to make sure we had one more interview, and I was very specific about who I wanted to talk to.
Shocker.
The guy that, well, I know, that's how I am. There is one guy that's just jumped out to me every time I've watched a game, practice, everything here, and it quite frankly started last year. Pretty impressed with our next guest, Ben Williamson, young third baseman, who's taken a few minutes with us. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Well, I'm great. I'm glad you're sitting down. I've been talking about you a lot this week. I don't know if that's uncomfortable
Have you felt
for
it?
you or not. Yeah. Have you felt?
No? Oh, thankfully.
Have you felt the world conspire?
Who is that hairy little guy over there that I hear my name mentioned a lot every time I walk in and out of the doors?
What is camp like for you in year 2 here?
I mean, it's awesome. It's kind of cool to soak it all in and learn from guys like Bone and guys that have been here before, like JP. Just watching them go about their business every day, it's really cool.
All right, so tell me about Perry Hill. We hear, first of all, we've seen Perry and what it's like and when he's working with the guys and throwing balls off the wall and the hand positioning and all of it. We've heard that your defense is your calling card. So what do you work on with Perry?
I mean, he's a defensive guru, so pretty much everything. A lot of it is the 6 Fs, which he teaches, and a lot of what I needed to work on is my funnel. And sometimes my arm path will get too long and my arm will drop, ball go wherever, and he's worked on cleaning that up a lot.
Funnel is which part?
Well, let's do this.
What is the, oh, geez.
Do we know the 6 Fs?
Feet.
That's good. No,
take your time. Brock's going to write it down.
I got it.
Yeah.
You see the notes I
If I
take?
know Brock, he's going to be writing down all of these.
Well, then I'll
steps.
give them to your father for
Yes.
his softball league.
Obviously,
He'll
he's
appreciate
going to
it.
need them later.
Yeah,
If I mess
6
it up, make sure not to tell him.
No, that's fine. Nope. Yep.
Harry doesn't listen to the show. You're good.
What do we got? We got feet first.
Feet, field, funnel, footwork, fire, follow.
Whoa.
All right, all of those make sense. I think a funnel, I assume, is kind of gathering the ball.
Yeah, bring it to your center.
So once you fielded it, it's in your glove. How do you center it so that then you can throw the ball?
Yeah.
You said feet, field, funnel,
footwork.
Okay. Well, you said it right the last time. I can go back and check out the tape.
Fire.
Yep.
And then follow through.
Yep. Okay.
And so what's the best of those? What are you best at in that group? If the thing you got to work through on is the funnel, what do you feel most comfortable with?
I like the footwork probably. Just easy right, left. Can't really mess that up.
How did you become such a elite defensive player?
I was never really good at hitting, like growing up. Like in high school, I was just a contact guy. Like I would move base runners, and then I was just always like, if I'm going to be good, it's because of my glove. So I kind of took pride in that and ran with it.
And grew up where?
In Virginia.
Whereabouts?
Chantilly, Virginia.
Chantilly, Virginia.
Like 40 minutes west of D.C.
Okay.
Okay.
And so you go from there to William and Mary. At that point, is there any thought in your mind that you're going to be a second-round pick in a couple years and you might be in a big league camp?
Absolutely not. But, I mean, the journey's been awesome. Like, I've learned so much about myself and developed a lot as not only a player but as a human being over the last couple of years, and it's just been unbelievable. I'm extremely grateful.
How have you changed as a human being?
I feel like I'm just way calmer, like way less anxious. I feel like I have a lot more, like I know myself way better than I've ever knew myself before.
Who taught you that? Who helped you with that journey?
Kind of in rehab last year when I broke my hand. I just started reading a bunch of self-help books and just reading those and then practicing journaling, meditating. It's been awesome.
You know, it's interesting. You know, we hear it from Colt Emerson yesterday, right? First round pick, and he's like, I was small. I was like 5 foot 90 pounds, right? I think a lot of times young people listening to the show, even parents of
even
athletes,
more parents.
even more parents are like, wow, my kid's got to be the biggest and the best and at all these things at a young age. I got to be in the top club. I got to do all of this. You couldn't hit really in high school, you said? I mean, you're okay.
Yeah, I was okay. Like I was a contact guy, like just trying to push the ball over the infield's head. Yeah. But not until like my senior year, I couldn't really hit for much power.
Yeah. Now, how about these thighs? When did all this stuff start?
Like, honestly, my senior year of college. I'd always been good about getting in the weight room, but I was never really able to get past 190. And then one of my teammates said something about hopping on creatine, and I was always like, didn't really know much about it. So I started doing research, and originally I thought it was like a T-booster or something. So I was like, I'm staying clear of that. And I did research, and I was like, oh, this is one of the most researched supplements of all time.
Yes.
So I hopped on that, and I just blimped up out of nowhere.
Yeah. What do you weigh now?
Like 210.
210 now.
And so were you always a third baseman, or did you move from short to third?
I moved from short as I got bigger.
Yeah.
So my freshman year, I split time at short, and then sophomore year I went to third, junior year back to short, and then senior year I finished up at third.
So last year you were here, were you in camp last year, or did you just get called up for a bunch of games last year? I forget.
I just jicked for a bunch of games.
So you were up for a bunch of games and played pretty well, if I remember. A couple hits, kind of, a lot of eyebrows raised. So this year you get the invite to Major League Camp. When did you know you were going to be in Major League Camp?
Thule called me probably first week of January.
Okay, so you've known for a little while.
Yeah.
What's the reaction when you hear that you're going to be called up to big league camp?
I mean, obviously, one was super excited, and then secondly was just super grateful. Like, not a lot of people get the opportunity to come here, and I don't know, I feel like not taking it for granted was something that I really wanted to emphasize.
Did you feel like there was one thing you wanted to do between that time in January and this time here in late February when you were going to be here? Like, hey, if I get to big league camp, I got to make sure
No, just keep stacking the days, like just trusting my process, really. Waking up, doing the same thing, going through my routine, and just trusting that stacking those days is going to build up to something.
Baseball players are amazing at that, aren't they?
I know.
Just the same, just
the process,
just do
the
same
routine.
Well, don't you have to in a game where, you can have a good process and the result just might not happen. You can hit the ball 110 miles an hour right at Ben Williamson at third base, and it's an out.
Yeah, exactly. Just control what you can control.
Okay, so now that you actually have been here, right, and you've been at it for a couple weeks, what is big league camp? What was your perception of what it would be versus now the day-to-day of being involved in it?
I feel like I was a lot more intimidated coming into it, just not really knowing what to expect from the guys. Like, you hear that saying, like, oh, he big leagued me, like all this stuff. But, no, all the guys are super cool.
Yeah. And Dan? And Dan's messaging?
Yeah, I mean, he's super clear, super concise, knows exactly what we want to do, and everybody's here to win a championship.
You feel like you have a chance to compete for the job. It's always a little different in this sport than some of the other sports that we cover. Do you feel like you're coming to big league camp and you're like, you know what, doggone it, I'm here. I might as well have a legitimate chance to knock down the door and go compete for the job and be the third baseman of the Mariners?
Like I said before, I'm just trusting my process, and wherever that takes me, it takes me. But I'm not really looking that far ahead, just controlling what I can control right now.
Is it realistic to play in the big leagues this year, though?
I hope so. I mean, that's the goal, obviously, at the end of the day. But once again, like whatever level I'm at, I'm going to try to be the best version of myself I can be.
What does the pitching look like that you see in spring training if and when you get up against guys that are either in the bigs or have been in the bigs versus what you saw last year?
Yeah, a lot of it's just the stuff is very similar in terms of movement profiles, but where they throw it is obviously a lot different. They're going to pitch to their strengths and when they can attack your weaknesses, and that's pretty much the biggest thing I've noticed. What can you be as a bat? You're no longer just pushing guys around the bases. What can your bat be at this level? I'll definitely say, like, to your point, like I would push guys around the bases. Like I feel like that's a big part of our offense this year, especially we have a really tough park to hit in from what I hear. So just being that fundamental offense, being a guy that can push runners over when needed, but also being a guy that can drive guys in.
Yeah, I mean, have you been up to T-Mobile?
No, I haven't yet.
No, it's an interesting experience. I think you will find. I mean, it is hard. I mean, the numbers just show it is really hard to hit there.
But Arkansas is not easy either, right?
Oh, no.
The same thing. Where were you last year? What was your journey last year? You started in Everett?
I started in Everett, and then I think, I don't even remember. Like first week of May, I was called up to Arkansas,
How
and
big
then
a
finished the
difference is
season
that
there.
in terms of hitting?
Oh, way different. It was a lot colder up in Everett.
Right. But Arkansas is not a hitter's park.
Oh, no, not whatsoever.
What is it about it there? Because it's not the cold. So what is it in Arkansas?
I don't know. The field, the dimensions are just way bigger, obviously, than in Funko, where it's 320 to the right center field gap.
Yeah.
But it might be the humidity. I'm not too sure.
You played in the Cape League too, right?
Yeah.
How was that? Was that your first wood bat experience going to the Cape League?
No, I played summer ball the last few years before that in the CPL, and then in Vermont in the NECBL. And then my senior year, I really wanted to show that I could play up to a high level outside of the CAA, because coming from a mid-major, teams were questioning whether or not, like, facing better competition, I would do good. So going up to the Cape and proving that I could compete at a high level was
You hit the
really
crap out of the
important
ball
to
in
me.
the Cape. I was just looking at the numbers. It's like, damn, you did really well in the Cape League. So was that sort of a moment where you're like, hey, okay, I've kind of got this. I feel like I can play at the next level?
Going into my senior year, I was just, whatever happens with it. Like, I worked my tail off in the off season, put on a lot of weight, did the right things, and about halfway through the season is when I was like, okay, this is becoming a real possibility. And then, when the Cape, it just kind of cemented that.
We've been, for whatever reason this week, maybe because Brock and I are both parents, but we've been talking a lot to everyone almost about their family, about their parents, and what sort of a role they've played in their journey. When you were a younger guy, not as big, just kind of not before the creatine, et cetera, what sort of support and influence were your parents on your journey?
I mean, they've supported me every step along the way, whether it's getting lessons for me, taking me to travel ball tournaments, and then in college, just providing that support. Like, obviously, I wouldn't be able to go to college if I didn't have them to help pay for it. I really just can't thank them enough.
It's pretty cool.
Best big leaguer to come out of William and Mary. Who's the best?
Ooh.
Has there been a big leaguer to come out of William?
Yeah, there's been a couple.
Okay.
I don't know in terms of stats or whatever, but I know Will Rhymes.
Oh, yeah.
Currently with the Dodgers front office, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
He was a William and Mary?
He was William and Mary.
Tribe?
Yeah.
Tribes?
Yeah.
What'd you major in, William?
Business analytics.
Okay. So is that like if it weren't going to click, is that where you were going to be?
I don't know, because the desk job really wasn't appealing to me.
What did Colt Emerson tell us yesterday? His biggest fear was having to get a regular job.
Yeah, I think he did say that 2 days ago before he even came on here. So
Yeah.
at
Sort
least
of
he's
feel the same
consistent
way?
with that. Yeah.
Like, God, I don't want to have to do a regular job.
It's process. You just keep
Absolutely.
stacking those days. Yeah, don't ever want to do that.
Hey, seriously, this is fun. Thanks for sitting down with us, and even more so, it really has been fun to watch you, and kind of we're going to have our eye on that journey and real hope and expectation that we'll see you with the Mariners and then with the big league club, if not this year, soon afterwards. So thanks for doing this. Congratulations on your success. Hopefully we'll talk again.
Thanks for having me on.
Awesome.
All right, that was Ben Williamson, a young Mariner third base prospect, former second-round pick. Spent last year in the minor leagues, but made an impression in camp here last year and is making an even bigger one this season, partly with the defense, somewhat with the personality, which is just very, I think, mature and affable without being particularly loud or noticeable. And then the defense is just what plays.
That's what plays. Yep.
He is a top-tier defender.
Yes, he is, and hopefully that bat over the course of the month here, even though it's not terribly predictive, I know there's things they are looking for internally from him, and hopefully he can show some of those, and that glove plays, man. That glove really plays does. At any level.
And again, they didn't get any production really out of third base last year. I mean, let's be clear, Josh Rojas had a good month, and then from May on, he was a terrible offensive third baseman. Good defensive third baseman. Didn't end up in the Gold Glove conversation, but could have.
Yep.
And Williamson could come up and do almost exactly what Josh Rojas did for less money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the reality of it. So we still haven't seen Polo out there. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But if there's a struggle there, an injury setback there, I am not going to be surprised.
I think they talked about Monday starting games, doing live at bats. Probably have some more of that today and over the weekend. And I bet you will see.
Sure we will.
And Bob and Dave will get to see that penciled in next week.
Let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88.
Blue 88! Blue 88!
We take you to the field as Brock Ewert breaks down 3 football questions as only he can.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Yeah, we got a texter, Brock, 206, suggesting that little testosterone thing was a personal shot at you from Ben Williamson.
What was that?
Saying he doesn't mess around with that tea stuff.
Oh, yeah, the tea
The creatine. He thought it was a tea.
I thought it was the herbal tea or the black tea.
No, I don't think that's what he meant.
Chamomile tea.
No, I don't
Oh, you
think
meant
so.
testosterone?
Yeah,
Testosterone?
I think it was that
Testosterone.
kind of tea.
Oh.
Think that was a personal shot? Think he knows about your obsession?
I think
with
that
tea?
was maybe like I don't mess around with it, but I think he looked at you as like maybe you should
Oh my
mess around.
gosh, what is wrong with you? Question number 1. It might not be on the draft board yet, but you saw some combine stuff yesterday.
Yes.
Who stood out to you
Yes.
for the Seahawks?
Yeah, nothing's speaking yet, Salk. Nothing's speaking yet, but these are kind of some of the whispers that lead up. Yeah, I think what jumped out yesterday, it was front 7 yesterday, right? It was D tackles, it was D ends and linebackers, and it paid off exactly what Daniel Jeremiah's tape study did. And as he was leading into this, like, wow, there's a lot of very, very athletic big men. The kid out of Arkansas, the DN, Landon Jackson, was probably right near the top of that, 6'6", 265, running 4.6 and jumping 40 inches.
How does he compare to, say, the guy from Penn State?
Oh, Abdul's in his own category. Yeah,
he's not in that category.
And he's not, and he's got a couple injuries. He had a stress reaction. He's got a little shoulder. He's got some stuff there.
Maybe he'll fall to 18.
I'm probably not going to fall to 18, no.
thought.
And I think yesterday maybe what changed my perception, so nothing with the D tackles or D ends. There's freak shows all over the place. Kid out of Tennessee, Pierce, ran and jumped. Obviously, Shamar Stewart, and I'll get to him in just a second, was Myles Garrett-esque athletically. But I would say the linebackers. And I've thrown some love at Carson Bruner for running 4.56, 4.58, which was awesome for him. But there were some really, really athletic, fast linebackers. And Ernest Jones, I think, would still be priority. You would love to see Ernest Jones. Tyrese Knight last year, when he got his start in the back half of the year, was awesome. but they could really use another linebacker. Maybe somebody in that 3rd or 4th round, and I don't know where the kids out of UCLA are going to go. Unbelievably athletic. Kane Madrano at the top. Danny Stetson, the 6'3", I mean, it's just a great name. You want a linebacker name? Danny Stutzman. 6'3", 235, Oklahoma, ran 4.52, jumped 34. Couple concussions in college. Some of these guys, same with Kane, kind of nicked up a little bit. But I wouldn't mind seeing that position added to. And I love this from Daniel Jeremiah. So Myles Garrett, right? Combine, 6'4", 272, jumped 41. 32 and a half sacks in college at A&M. Shamar Stewart, 6'5", 267, jumped 40, ran 4.59. 4.5 sacks his whole college career.
Crazy.
32 and a half for Myles. 4.5 for that guy.
That's a pretty big difference.
That's a pretty big red flag.
That's why I'm going to keep talking about Myles Garrett this offseason. Question number 2. John Schneider's show yesterday. We're going to go through a little bit more of this in a few minutes, but he did shed some light on some of the things that they're looking for, not just the measurements you just mentioned. Here was John Schneider at the Combine yesterday with Wyman and Bob.
It's interesting watching the guys interact with each other. So when in the group, when you're watching it live, because you can get way more. We get way more out of it. You can see it on TV, right? Yeah. And some teams aren't even staying anymore for the live workouts, like at the Dome. Some teams are leaving after they get through with the interviews and the physicals and everything. So, and meeting with all the agents and all the teams and everything that goes into it early in the week. But, you know, I would say, like, watching the guys just compete and how they're prepared for, to your point, Dave, whether it's, you know, the bench press or the vertical or the short shuttle, or it depends. And all those things are there's different importance on all the drills based on the testing based on position. So just watching those guys compete and interact, you know, is the guy, like, how they're handling themselves as in the group. Are they, like, kind of, they do their thing and then go off to the side and, like, just be by themselves and be on their phones, or are they hanging out with the other guys and, like, encouraging them and you know, talking to the coaches and interacting?
And I'm biased on this, and I've told this story a dozen different times over 16 years, but back to my Combine in 1999, it was Donovan McNabb, and that was a draft class with Tim Couch and Akili Smith, and both those guys, McCown. Those guys, they were not the alpha. It was Donovan McNabb. He was the one that was leading the receivers. He was the one leading the charge. He was the one that had the juice, and he was the one that had the best career of anybody. Yeah. And, you know, so just watching, and it's not an end-all be-all, but it's another data point.
You're, like, linked with him, right?
Well, I have McNabb in the front of my lobe because I was going to get some McNabb. But you and
Cade McNown, right? Wasn't it like wherever you went, he was going to go to the other school?
He's still better to this day.
No, but, like, isn't that like, if you went to UW, he was going to UCLA.
That's exactly right.
If you went to UCLA, he was going to UW.
That's 100% right.
Yeah.
You know, and he's still better to this day.
He had a pretty good college career, though.
A great college career, and he was a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. But, Mora and Justin and I, no, not great. All kind of perked up listening to that, like, ooh, that's a cool little point that I've not really heard. It's not just, you know, watching them run and jump. It's not just the interviews. How are you amongst your peers? How are you going to be on a football? You love football, or do you love the things of football? Do you love the camaraderie and the friendship? And different in every position, different in every position, and the need for that. But yet another data point in this whole process.
Did some other quarterback, like, steal his girlfriend or something?
Cade McNown?
Yeah.
No?
Here,
I'll write down.
You think I got it wrong?
I'll write down what happened. Go ahead.
Was he the victim or the?
He did. He was
him.
No,
there's more. No, it's not that. Yeah. There's more than that.
Okay, next.
It's more than just
Here
that.
we go.
Question number 3. Is the NFL ready for its own Ohtani, Brock?
Shohei Ohtani?
Is it going to happen?
Is he coming to the NFL? Listen, cut number 8 here. Travis Hunter, very clear. Who will work out, by the way, as a DB. Here was Travis Hunter saying, don't you dare just play me one side of the ball.
They say nobody has ever done it for real the way I do it, but I tell them that I'm just different. I'm a different person. I don't know about returning. I already got 2 jobs on my hand.
He wants to 100% play receiver and 100% play DB, as he did at Colorado the last 2 years. And I will 100% bet my 401k that won't happen. When you have a hard time sustaining health in college, in the Big 12 at Colorado, you will have an impossible time doing so in the NFL over 17 games, trying to do that and play both ways. Could he play 5 to 8 snaps of receiver? Absolutely. And be a full-time DB? Absolutely. Is he going to play 130 snaps a game like he did in college? Unequivocally, no. That frame just won't hold up. Right? I think like a Champ Bailey, a Sean Springs, some of these guys and some of these unbelievably talented big guys in the past, I'm like, well, Champ Bailey played some receiver at Georgia. That his frame, I think, would have been better suited to do it than Travis. He is lean. He is springy. He's like an NBA body, but physical, and sticks his face in there and wants to come up and hit. Yeah, I don't see any chance of him playing 120 snaps again.
All right, there you go. That is today's Blue 88.
But bless his heart for wanting to.
It's hard to look up the Cade McNown thing because when you look up Cade McNown wife, you find out about how his wife was accused of stealing and actually did like 500 hours of community service for stealing bags, jewelry, and some other stuff. And then if you look up Cade McNown's scandal, you find out about his role in a handicap parking scheme at UCLA. So it does get a little challenging trying to remember the story, but maybe somebody will and they can text us.
No, I think what I wrote down.
I don't think it's beyond that. There's something about stealing a girlfriend or cheating or something like that.
I think you're confusing Danny Cannell and Jason Sehorn in the New York Giants saga.
No,
not that one?
No.
Okay, all right.
This might have involved a Steve Walsh or I don't know. I gotta see if I can.
It's typically when the text toy helps.
I know. That's why I just asked for the text.
Okay,
I could use some help for the text.
Awesome.
While you guys do that, we will prepare to talk through what John Schneider meant yesterday when he said, "We're in. We want Geno back. We're friends, and he's our guy." How seriously should we take him? That's coming up on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
It sure seems like Geno Smith will be back with the Seahawks in 2025. Two things we heard this weekend that tell us that. First, Mike McDonald's interview with Fox 13.
Geno's our quarterback. I don't understand the conversation.
Tom Pelissero had this to say.
The Seahawks appear to be all in on Geno Smith for 2025.
To me, it's obvious. Geno has to be the guy. You're in a position where you're not going to draft him. You can't still get a quarterback late and hope you develop. But Geno has showed he can win you some ball games.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we are committed to giving you quality workmanship and white glove service that exceed your expectations. Get our exclusive leak armor installation backed by a lifetime warranty. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan.
It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Protein, protein, protein. Everyone is trying to get protein in their diet, but we need fats too. Healthy fat, that is, like the rich, natural peanut and almond butters found at G2G protein bars. Most bars don't have it because, well, most bars aren't real food or refrigerated. Fortunately for you, we aren't most bars. At G2G, you'll find a balanced helping of protein and healthy fat. The fact that they're delicious is just a bonus. They're fast, easy, and perfect for on-the-go families. G2G protein bars. Find them in the refrigerated section at Costco.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down! Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Is that a new Samsung Galaxy A15 5G?
Yeah, I got it for free when I joined Cricket Nation.
Sounds pretty great.
At Cricket, anyone can get a new phone when they switch.
Whoa.
With a high-quality camera, meaning more flattering selfies for all. And super fast 5G, so you can post them for all to see. Your friends, your family, your ex. Free phone! Free phone!
Okay, I'll switch.
Welcome to Cricket Nation.
Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, 2 hours left here, Brock, from our second home in Peoria, Arizona, Mariners spring training. This hour will include Julio Rodriguez.
Julio
Rodriguez. The sound has been salvaged. Mariners.
As best we can. Everybody can direct it at me when after the first 4 minutes, the audio gets a little more, you hear a lot more background noise.
More echoey.
So, sorry about that.
Tim Heavley of the Mariners just came over, Maura, and we were standing over there, and he's like, hey, turn around for a second. So we're facing away from the table. Like, okay. Did you save the Julio audio?
I was like, yes. He knows about it?
It was recovered. He's like, great, I didn't want to say anything around Maura.
How's the volume with the Julio? Is it volume?
The volume
control
control is good. Yeah, it was Maura used all of her volume control energy on that.
Nice.
Why are we joking about that? We had an awesome night last night. All the three of us, plus Justin Barnes was there, and Shannon, and Lyle and TJ of the Marine Layer, Lyle from our show, and just a blast. Brock cooked. Brock made.
Shannon cooked.
No, I'll get to that.
I was a B plus.
Brock,
I was a B plus.
I thought it was really good.
B+.
Brock made really good steak yesterday. 2 different types of steak and salad. The potatoes were really good. The mushrooms were good.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon just brought it with this lemon
curd cheesecake.
Meyer lemon cheesecake
Tasted
thing.
like more like, as you said, a key lime pie.
Yeah, almost. Really tangy.
Lemon. Oof.
Which you had oddly requested anyways.
Right.
So
she basically
it
made
worked
me a
out.
lemon version of
She
that.
did. It was tremendous.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So, and we just had a lot of fun hanging out and hearing a little bit about Lyle and TJ and their time here at Arizona State. And Brock asked a lot of really good questions. He was very energetic, but one member of the party had started the party a little bit too early yesterday after a day in the sun, and had a little issues with the volume control going up.
That's it, though.
And you say up and down, I would say really just up, and then up a little higher, and then up a little higher. And it was an absolute joy. I could not stop laughing last night.
Had such a smile on your face.
It was awesome.
Like you had to back out. Can I show you this pool game? And I think you were just.
I had to walk into the other room.
You were just giggling.
I was just giggling
you were
about
giggling.
the whole thing. I do enjoy. Look, you know this. I like to. I don't mind being in an altered state.
You get warm.
I do. I like to get
friendly
and very friendly. I'm a
So
happy.
friendly.
I'm a happy person in that environment.
Happy warm.
But everyone who's ever been in college knows the feeling of when you arrive at a party late and everyone has started without you, and you're like, "Whoa, what have I walked into? I'm going to need to catch up or something." And I walked in and was like, "Whoa, I didn't."
But it was just me.
Yeah.
No, more.
No, Brock too.
I have to catch up with
'cause
more.
Brock was super energetic in a way that I'm not always, I don't always see. So, anyway, it was awesome, and we had a really great time.
You know what's really great before the Schneider sound is I'm thinking about this. Justin Barnes can put together a really fun video with this.
Oh, yeah.
And there's going to be
So
times.
hopefully you can hear.
No, I think there's going to be times you might hear More in the background. I think there are a few times.
I was really excited. The
I
food
know.
was amazing.
It's so good. So
The
fun.
combine was on.
Yeah, it was great.
We were
And-
listening to Wyman and Bob talking to
and
Schneider.
yes, and I think that maybe I'm biased. Maybe it was all of those things wrapped into it, but this was one of my favorite Schneider shows yet. He was in his element. He's in his ecosystem at the combine. He's in the hotel room, kind of dialed in, looking at his computer, and he's having meetings, and this is his wheelhouse. He loves scouting still, and he loves the continuity of all his staff. So Bob and Dave did a great job, I think, getting a bunch here from John.
Well, they asked some really direct questions, and I think that helped. The biggest one, obviously, is about Geno Smith, cut 3. What does that negotiation look like right now?
We'll be meeting with him, with his guys tomorrow. We hope to, get an extension with Geno, and Geno knows he's our guy. We love him, and we want to keep going forward.
And tomorrow is today. So that was yesterday. So that means today they are meeting with Geno's people, and I would imagine like right now, because the guys work out in the afternoon. It was the linemen, D-linemen, linebackers, and ends yesterday. So the next wave works out in this afternoon. So I'm going to imagine those meetings are going on right now.
How do you think they go?
Well, if they are as friendly as they are, and if they've done deals as they have in the past, there was some tension in training camp when all the other guys signed their deal. There's a little water under that bridge now. I think a bunch of those teams, if you're John Schneider and the Seahawks, you're like, Geno, that was bad business for Jacksonville. That was bad business for Miami. We don't do bad business. We do good business. That's how we sustain and we win. And I just keep coming back to this like 42.5 number. To me, that's very fair and reasonable. That, you're not a $50 million or $60 million guy. You're not a $30 million guy. I think you're a $42.5 million kind of guy. So is it $90 million in some kind of guaranteed structure over the next 2 years added on to this season? Maybe that's where there'll be friction. Like, no. Rip it up. Don't want to do that. I don't want to do an extension. I don't want to do any of that. Off of play out this year, and then here comes the new money. I want the new money now, maybe. So those details will work out, but I'd have to think, and this is a strong leverage play by John and Mike McDonald for that matter, right? Geno's agent doesn't get to be necessarily public like this. Maybe they leak some things here or there in the days ahead.
No, their style is much more to just send out some cryptic.
That's Geno's style. Geno's a cryptic tweet guy, yeah. But his agent is, we'll see. We'll see if there's something from Adam or Josina or somebody, coming out somewhere with their side, but you get a blowhorn, right? If you're Mike and you're John, leverage-wise, you get a blowhorn to be like, yep, we want you. So if it's not done, it's on you.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of how I read this. And, it's funny, Justin was making fun of me for it yesterday. It's like, oh, come on, you're just trying to hang on to the idea that maybe Geno won't be back. I'm like, yeah, it's totally fair. Maybe I am. Maybe that's a bias, and I think I've been somewhat public saying that I just think they need a different long-term option. That doesn't mean Geno can't be there short-term, but I do sort of believe in going in or out, and Geno feels a little bit compromised.
I would be absolutely John Mobley, kidney bruised, pissing blood, blindsided if they don't find a way to – if Geno Smith's not the starting quarterback week 1. That would blindside me. Russell did not blindside me.
Right.
It was kind of shock and awe, like, wow, they really did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this doesn't feel like they're looking to do that.
Nope.
But I think the one thing holding me back from that same level of blindside is like Geno is a very passionate guy.
Yep.
That is his best quality.
Emotional.
And it is sometimes his worst quality.
Yep.
And that will play a role in this. And if his agent is able to say, like, hey, look, man, this is a good deal, get this done.
Yes.
Geno will do it, and you're right. He'll be the starter here opening day next year. If that emotional part of him says, no, I'm sorry, I want 50. I need 50. I need to be paid like this. I think John has set it up knowing that that's a possibility to be like, hey, I'm going to appeal to him. I'm going to tell him how much we love him. We're going to, coddle him a little bit, make him feel loved since everything else seems to make him so angry. We're going to pat him on the head and tell him we love him and try to build him up. But if he doesn't sign, he's the one who's going to look greedy. It's not going to look like we're cheap.
I would co-sign on that. Last little nugget here, I would say a curiosity I have, and again, going back to some of that training camp poutiness and frustration and friction and everything else, is does he want to wait for something to happen with Purdy and Matthew Stafford in your own division? Does he just want to say, well, you know what, let me just see, like the coffee lady this morning who was like, Brock, aren't you getting a new contract? And I was like, yeah, 60 mil, Different coffee lady. This was an older, funnier, wittier gal because, she saw my little Starbucks card. Oh, Brock, aren't you about to get a new contract? And I said, I'm not that Brock.
She was like, well, you're pretty slay. So.
But do you think he waits? Do you think he says, you know what, I was kind of burned or felt burned in training camp. I watched all these guys get their money.
Good question.
Let me see what Stafford, let me see what Purdy gets before I sign.
Very, very, very good question. We'll keep monitoring it. We'll keep eye on this, and we'll see how those negotiations go. Apparently going to start today. Julio Rodriguez joins us in 20 minutes from Peoria. We'll play that after everything you need to know next.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. And as a former college and professional player and quarterback in particular, the years of wear and tear and some of those hits left my knee and some of my body in some constant pain. On and off the field, the weight room, all those heavy squats and all of it. In fact, my knee was really bothering me last year. That's why I decided to try stem cell injection therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine over there in Kirkland. And really, it was an awesome decision. With Dr. Dan, the procedure itself was so quick and easy. In and out, same day. Next day, I'm out watching football practice, a baseball game, and the staff was absolutely A+. And my knee, well, it's a whole lot better now, and I'm back to squatting and enjoying a much better quality of life. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, with Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. Over 30 years of experience. No one, and I mean no one, has more experience in pain medicine techniques. You can reach him at 425-823-4000. That's 425-823-4000 or DanielNelsonMD.com.
The wait is over. Hey, it's your old pal, the Graz here, inviting you to come celebrate the grand reopening of Jackson Park's driving range. They are throwing a party and everyone is invited. They'll have new range balls, mats and targets, music on the range, and face painting for the kids, so bring the whole family. Free Top Tracer all weekend long as well. That's right. Free Top Tracer all weekend long as well. How about free 10-minute lessons after 2 p.m., food specials, and of course plenty to drink. All day Saturday, the grand reopening of Jackson Park's spanking new driving range.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies. including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens. And it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on SeattleSports.com.
It's time to go all in at Toyota of Kirkland. All in on their commitment to quality, innovation, and durability that makes Toyota of Kirkland certified pre-owned and used vehicles the best in the market. When a product is made better, it lasts longer, and Toyota of Kirkland is the place to be to go all in on your next used vehicle for that reason. With a large inventory of certified pre-owned and used vehicles with incredible savings, why not visit their wonderful staff and beautiful showroom today at Toyota of Kirkland or online at toyotaofkirkland.com and go all in on your next car.
O'Brien. Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep. Go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through March 4th, get fast, reliable Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 1 year with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add an unlimited mobile line. And ask how to get an eligible free 5G phone with trade-in. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Requires PayPal split and auto-pay stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required. Reduced mobile speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Data thresholds and actual internet speeds vary.
So here's the deal with Mariners season ticket memberships. You've got 2 great options. With a Flex membership, you have the freedom to pick your seats, games, and number of tickets whenever you want. Or, if you like knowing where you're sitting all season long, go with a Reserved membership and lock in your seats from day one. Both plans get you access to exclusive pre-sales, year-round discounts, special event invites, and more. Check it out at Mariners.com/25.
Now Raleigh wins it in the 10th inning for the Mariners.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Split squad yesterday. 2 games, Brock. Even better than 1 game. Unfortunately, 2 losses, a whole lot worse than 1. Both Mariner teams did fall. Jonathan Diaz started the road game, lost to the Rangers 8-0. Home squad, 6-4 loss, but there was some good news buried in there. Bryce Miller looked very good in his first start. Good job, Mike. First start of the spring, facing 7 batters and striking out 3. Yeah, first start, you combine those 2 words together, and it doesn't go all that well for you. Okay. At least wasn't his first buck of the spring or something.
No,
right?
you got to be careful with that one, too.
Could have worked
son
out
of a buck.
Could have worked out a whole lot worse. Fastball, though, at 98.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yep, mixing some pitches in there, and just we said it yesterday, and we'll have a final hour. After Julio, feels like the final hour when I'm up in Sitka fishing after a great time. Like, oh gosh, do I really got to get off the water? Do we really got to get off the air? And we'll give some more tidbits and takeaways to kind of wrap the whole thing up. But it feels like he's taken yet another step of maturity, which is just natural, which you would expect. And he's doing so on the back half of a season last year that was just outright phenomenal. So when that's your number 4, I'll say this, save for the Dodgers, man. There's nobody else that can say, yeah, here's our number 4. We're going to roll him out. Here's his production, and here's his stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty darn impressive, and we'll get to see Brian Wu tonight as he will have his first start of the spring as well.
Under the lights.
We've been talking a lot about this Ben Williamson kid. We chatted with him. You guys heard that this morning. You've watched him. You're hoping he's going to be able to hit, but there is no doubt about this kid's glove. He is projected as a gold glove kind of defender. In cut 1, he showed it yesterday.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on, a chopper right back to Bizzardo. Gets by him. It's picked up by Williamson. Throws the first in time. That's a great play by Ben Williamson, flashing the leather to get Koss. And that's the second out of the inning. Well, we've heard about his defense, and he showed it off right there.
Yeah, it's funny. We haven't we keep hearing, but we haven't seen too many examples. Went made a nice play going back on a fly ball, kind of a pop fly the other day. But
wasn't it Rizzy early in the week, Rick, that said this kid's like Brooks Robinson level defense?
No, I asked him if he was like Brooks Robinson, and Rick basically yelled at me for impugning the
said,
name.
"Shut your mouth."
He was basically like, "There's no such thing as anyone like Brooks
Why
Robinson."
are you so stupid?
I was asking. I was like, "Look, I never got a chance. I've heard."
Yeah.
I was like, was Brooks Robinson that much better than Beltre? That like he was like, yeah. it was in a different category.
Now, does he have an arm like Arenado in some of the elite guys?
I don't know. He's got a pretty good arm. He does everything pretty darn well, and really soft hands.
Including making fun of your testosterone levels.
I don't know. That's what happened.
That's what I felt.
At all. Not a lot of offense, but Ryan Bliss did have a big triple, so good for him. And they will get back to it, as you said, tonight.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, I just played you, and we just chatted through the Geno Smith sound from John Schneider yesterday on the John Schneider Show with Wyman and Bob every Thursday at 4 leading up to the draft at the end of April. And I think you sort of have now got me thinking, okay, 42.5.
Mm-hmm.
If it's north of that, this is probably not a good idea. And if it's south of that, the Seahawks probably got themselves a good deal.
Yeah, it's just kind of the reasonable range. Friends who want to do deals, and if Geno really looks at the market out there and looks at the other places, and does he really want to reset? It looks like Dave Canales. That would be the one to me. But then the Bryce really came on the second half of the year, and they're going to build around their number 1 pick overall. And yeah, I think Geno's also in the age and stage like, well, I got a pretty good thing here where people do like me, and I got a tremendous amount of support. And could I go chase some other dollars or play hardball or go sit out? Put a reasonable deal in front of me, and let's see if these two sides can get it done.
Yeah, there was also some question about how they're going to maneuver around some money. This is a classic all-timer from Bob asking John Schneider about the future of Geno Nwosu in cut 4.
You saw there was some maneuvering with a trigger date with Nwosu. Are you guys working on restructure to sort of lessen the impact of that cap hit with him?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
And then you also
but it's a process that we're working through.
All
and,
right.
We met with his guys this week, so we'll continue to do that.
All right.
Yeah, Bob does a little diagonal head turn when he does. All right. Kind of pulls the chin in and the top right side of the forehead down. Right. All right. Okay. But good answer, good question, and good on them, and good information.
And then your buddy, hopefully, can find a trade partner so you don't have to ever screw up his name
I've
again.
screwed up the name Rayshon Jenkins 100 times this year. I have called him
Tukuafu.
No.
Tukalufu.
Stop it. I've just called him Rayshon Jennings a lot and written it a lot.
It's
in
not
my
Jennings?
notes. It's not. I looked it up this morning to make sure I had it right because I wrote Rayshon Jennings again. Mike, you idiot. Anyway,
Well,
he's probably not going to work here next year. He was essentially replaced last season by Kobe Bryant.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Trey Smith's not going to be here next year either. Sorry, he's going to stay in Kansas City. Chiefs are franchise tagging the best guard on the market. Not going to be available. Instead, they're going to give him $23.4 million this year as a franchise guard.
Well, that's where the negotiation is going to start. Obviously, they're going to want to try to get a long-term deal done. I believe the end of the franchise tag is Monday.
And the Seahawks don't really have any candidates.
No, nope. And the new league year right around the corner, man. Is today? Today's Haley's birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Haley. February 28th. Today's the last day of the month. Tomorrow's March 1st. Yikes.
Also means 4 months till the wedding.
March, April, May. Oof.
Exactly 4 months?
Yeah, exactly 4 months from today.
Dude, I know the date of the wedding. Do you?
Yes, I do.
All right, doesn't feel like it. It feels like you don't know the date of the wedding.
I know
You got your
exactly.
mind all caught up in the combine.
Uh-huh.
That's everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour. Kudos to Cal Raleigh, Male Sports Star of the Year. Kudos to Jessica Campbell, Kraken coach, Kraken assistant coach, as the sports story of the year in Seattle. And kudos to, remind me her name again, I'm sorry, Jordan Childs?
Jordan Childs.
Thank you. Who
Well
was
done.
the female athlete of the year, the gymnast.
So inappropriate. So inappropriate.
Yeah.
Does she feel like she's 22? Does that make you feel old?
No, I mean, I will say no.
You think you'll cry at the wedding?
Possible.
When you see me kind of get, I'm
Yeah.
sure, crying.
I don't think it's out of the question
Okay.
that there'll be some crying at the
Nice.
wedding. I think she doesn't seem 22 to me, but that's because most of the time I hear Haley.
Yeah.
It's if I call you and you don't answer, and I hear like 10-year-old Haley
Yeah.
on your answering machine talking about how
Well,
busy
I'm going
you
to tell you
are.
right now, June 29th.
Hey! I mean,
The
she sounds
voicemail will
like she-
change June 29th.
Can we get a tape of the voicemail at some point, though, before you change it? Can we get that downloaded
Probably,
or something
yeah.
so that we can save it for posterity?
Yeah, that'd be great.
So we can hear your humble brag about all the, how busy you are.
How busy I am, all the places I am.
Yeah, all the hard work you
Yeah.
do here and there and everywhere else. And, the people should know
Okay, let's get to
just how
Julio. Let's
ridiculous
get to
your voice
Julio.
message really is. Julio, you think he's busy? He is
Mm-hmm.
the first guy here almost every day. 6:30 a.m., Julio is in the building every morning, working hard, throwing weight around, eating right, doing all the things in the cage to make Julio Rodriguez as good as he can be this year. What is it like to be Julio? You'll find out next on Brock and Salk.
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
We are now speaking with the architect of your Seattle Seahawks.
How we doing, football fans?
With Seahawks President of Football Operations and General Manager John Schneider.
My job is to do what's best for the Seattle Seahawks organization. I have to keep wrapping my mind around that and trying to communicate effectively.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
What's the standard the Seahawks defense needs to be held to under Mike McDonald?
The John Schneider Show.
Brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Every window tells a story, whether it's watching your kids play outside or enjoying a beautiful sunset. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our replacement windows are designed to frame those moments. Brighten your home with our exclusive offer. Buy 3 windows and get 1 free. Call today to take advantage of this limited deal. 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we are committed to giving you quality workmanship and white glove service that exceed your expectations. Get our exclusive leak armor installation backed by a lifetime warranty. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Febreze.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Feeling lucky? Well, you should, because there's a pot of $300,000 in cash just waiting to be won. Follow the end of the rainbow to Silver Reef every Saturday night in March to throw your hat into the ring. 2 new winners drawn every hour from 6:30 to 11:30 p.m. Get ready for lucky spins, lucky wins, and a night of fun like there's never been. Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
If you're injured in the state of Washington, here's what matters. Who represents you matters. The experience of their staff matters. Their investigation team and track record of success matters. Davis Law Group was founded in Seattle and has been winning cases for more than 30 years. We know Washington State, we know our courts, and we know how to deliver the highest level of client satisfaction. And that's what matters.
Crafted with precision and timeless elegance, Chris-Craft boats are the epitome of sophistication and performance. Each is a masterpiece designed with superior craftsmanship, exquisite materials. No matter your pleasure, cruising, surfing, or performance from 24 to 35 feet, it's a Chris-Craft Northwest. Look at the rest and experience art in motion. Chris-Craft Northwest. See the difference at the new Chris-Craft Northwest showroom on Lake Union during the open house through March 1st. Visit ChrisCraftNW.com. You're free now. Free to stream beyond your wildest dreams.
Rom-coms, slasher-coms, space operas.
Free to fill your feed with impossibly chonky chonkers.
Cats, corgis, babies on demand.
Free to make your smart devices do silly things.
Bowl of chips on the Robo-Vacuum.
Free to open a world of remote work and Gametopia.
Who's the boss now?
Free to be everything you imagine. That's how it feels to have Quantum Fiber Internet. Your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com.
Limited availability, service in select locations only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Well, Brock, if there's one reason you came down here is to make sure that we had our opportunity to chat with the man himself, Julio Rodriguez, kind enough to come sit and hang out with us for a little bit. Good morning, Julio.
Thank you. I mean, it's been a good morning. Nice weather here in AC, so thank you for having me here.
Happy to do it. And you may notice, Brock, he's got the sunglasses on today. I think we creeped him out last year talking about his green eyes.
Yeah.
And now he's got the sunglasses on.
I have to make sure, to cover it up. Got a little uncomfortable.
I think it's
okay.
Probably in everybody's best interest. All right, speaking of comfort, how comfortable are you? This is another spring training for you. Heading into a, fourth season in the big
fourth
leagues?
year,
That's crazy that's already true.
I know.
How comfortable are you?
Well, I feel good. Like you said, this is my fourth year, actually being, up with the team. And I've been playing with all the guys around. I feel like we have a really good relationship, with the coaching staff, too. So it feels very good.
If you were to define each one of your years, if I were to say to you year 1, year 2, year 3, if you were to define, however you want to characterize each of those years for you, how would you now look back at year 1, 2, and 3?
Well, I feel like year 1, I was, trying to stay up, try to like establish myself and be able to, play at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like year 2, was like the year to kind of like keep building on to what I started, because obviously like you can do it once, but like, continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Year 3 was like, a big learning year for me, I feel like. And year 4, I feel like, not just for me, but I feel like as a team, we're ready to do something. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I feel for the different years.
Mm-hmm. You say a learning year last year. I don't want to spend too much time on last season, but when you say a learning year, what did you learn?
Well, I learned a lot of things about myself, about how I like to do things. My personality, how to be comfortable in a lot of different situations. And just as being myself. And I feel like I learned a lot about that. And learn, like I said, like a lot of the things that I personally like to do, that what I don't like to do, where I'm better at, where I'm not as good at. And I feel like it was a very cool year.
I got to imagine, we've talked about this before. I think we talked about it last year and probably the year before that. Just the amount of people that want to be around you, that want something from you, that want to talk to you for 5 minutes or get you to endorse a product or give them advice or just be in your circle. How have you learned how to deal with that?
I feel like just being myself. I feel like that's kind of the biggest takeaway I have from all that, because by doing that, I choose the battles I want to fight, in a way. Like I choose the things I want to do, the things that doesn't align with the timing or that they do, Like right now we're doing this interview because, if it's a good time, we can talk about this, we can sit down and talk.
But we ask you tomorrow, you're going to say no.
That's what I'm saying. If it's a time that I don't if something I don't have time, I feel a lot more comfortable doing those things because I understand better my priorities, and that's something that it feels good.
Well, perfect little anecdote. Literally 2 minutes before this, we're out there. He's taking BP. All the fans are out there, and it was Julio, 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 Julio. And he even turned to some of them in a great way and said, "Can you ask how are you? Can you say how are you doing?" Instead of just take. Right. Can we actually
give and take?
Yeah, I just feel like there is so much more opportunity. Like I get a lot of people want autographs and pictures and things like that, but I feel like there is a bigger opportunity within all those things, because if I was a kid, if I see a player like me or a player like Kyle Raleigh or Luis Castillo or Lauren Gilbert, whatever the guys that we have over here, I would instead of just asking for things, I will ask questions, how do you get here? How do you do all this? Because if you get here watching baseball, I'm sure at some point they want to be where we're at. So I feel like there is so much more opportunity for people that I wish, that I want to encourage other people to, that hear this. Whenever you see guys like that, try to ask questions, and I understand that we're human too, and we can, just kind of how we did it, you can do it too.
When did you know? When did you know that you could be here, that you should try to make a career out of being a Major League Baseball player?
Well, I feel like earlier, even before I signed, I feel like I had my mentality set up, being up with the MLB. Obviously, back then, I didn't even know if I was gonna be here with the Mariners. But once, things got a little more serious, and I decided to be here. I knew that I wanted to be in the big leagues. I didn't want to spend too much time in mine.
You said ask questions, and before we spin ahead, I got one more looking back. And when you say you learned something, as someone that observes this and has for 16 years doing this, which is a blast, when I watch you, Julio, from my own lenses, I see a charismatic, fun-loving, love the fans. How do you balance that with that edge and that focus and that, how do you balance fun and focus, fun and edge? How do you do that?
I feel like I'm not just going to dance around that line. I feel like I'm somebody that just kind of how I can be really fun, I can get really intense, I can get, be kind of out there, at the same time be really serious. And I just feel like I dance around, in that line. It's kind of understanding that there is a time for everything. You can let's say me, I like playing video games. I can be at my house playing video games for once I'm out the field. Like, you know, you got to go out there and, like, you know, beat somebody up. So it's just kind of like keeping it a balance and, like, understanding that. I feel like that's like the best way of like handling and dancing around the line.
It makes sense. You look to your right and you see very serious and Randy Arozarena. You look to your left and then you see Victor Robles, who's maybe a little bit on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And you got in between those two guys.
Kind of, you know, got to keep the balance.
What's that relationship like with the three of you guys? Forgetting about just the hair and all that. When the three of you came together in the back part of last year, what is that like?
I mean, it was awesome. You know, I feel like even though we're different, we're very like-minded. You know, we're bonded right away. Like you said, Randy is really serious, but he actually talks a lot with us.
Does he?
He always like, you know, fooling around, saying something out of the that he's funny. Victor, you know, he's gonna go out there and be Victor, and that's something that I really love about him, and the way that he plays the game, and like how he is as a person. You know, he in the clubhouse he's very kind of quiet, but at the same time he can get really loud. He can be like making jokes, but at the same time he can be just kind of hanging out on his phone. But it's a really good relationship that we have. You know, like I said, we're very like-minded. We like to keep it light, but at the same time work hard.
Video game, you ever play Madden?
Not really.
That's fine. He's not a Madden guy, bro. Don't try to brag.
No, that's fine.
Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Always. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
I'm a warrior that, you know, basic player on the side.
How tall are you now?
Well, 6'4", it says.
Is that, well, I know what it says. Are you the same height as you were 4 years ago when you first made the big leagues?
I mean, a lot of people say I'm growing, but I feel like, you know, I was always around, 6'3", 6'4".
Okay. Well, the reason Ovi told me you would grow, I met your guy, Ovi. No, I'm curious about it. I met him last year when he was out to visit with you around the All-Star break, and had a great chance to talk to him. His story was amazing, hearing how he had made his way from Cuba to Mexico, all of it. It was just really, I was just fascinated in the story. And he said, I think Julio's grown just in the last year or so. He's gotten taller. Is that true?
I mean, everybody's seen me taller, even around here. I don't know. Might be the cleats. I don't know.
It might be the cleats. Do you have to adjust as you continue to grow into your body?
I mean, I feel like there's always adjustment. You know, there's always adjustment to say. There's always you always got to figure something out. You know, you always change every year. You just change, so you always got to kind of stay at the top of that and kind of be guided that way.
And what have the conversations been with Edgar and Saints?
I mean, it's been awesome. You know, I feel like their both goals are like very, very similar in the way that they approach hitting and like their message. And I think they're keeping things very simple for hitters. And I think that's something huge because at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people are trying like playing baseball in a lot of different ways. I just feel like the game is a game. You know, you can't change the essence of the game. And I feel like that's something that they bring it back big time for a lot of us, and it's something that I'm excited to see play out.
How does that work for you? What does that mean in your world to keep it simple?
You know, hitting is hard. You know, like just hitting is hard. I mean, like, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, like I get it, it's hard," but like you don't know until you do it. Like in that box, having somebody throwing 98 with sink, or like 100, like Mooney was throwing the other day, with wipe out slider and like things like that. You don't know, you know, and like no, it's true. Like, I believe it. There's a lot of people who say, "Oh yeah, I get it." Like 100 is like, nah, you don't know. You don't know, and it's something that they keep keep all of us in a good mentality with the right intent, and just hit a nice line drive to the middle. Yeah, a lot of good things are gonna happen. And I feel like the confidence with what they say, with the experience that is coming from, I feel like it's syncing well with a lot of the guys, and a lot of the guys are bought into it.
Feels like it's almost that same tension when you mentioned earlier about fun and focus, that dance. It almost feels the same way with all these numbers and all these analytics and all this swing data and all this information, right? That you do this dance with, I have all of this, but then I got to keep it simple and do this, right? It's a little bit of a dance.
Yeah, it's like you gotta understand it, but like I said, man, the game has its own essence. You can't take it away. You cannot put that into numbers. You cannot measure that. Like it's different. It's different. You can have all the metrics you want, but if you don't play the game the right way, you're not gonna get nowhere. And I feel like that's something that I feel like we have the right focus now, like, as a team.
Do use a traject machine? Do you go over and use that?
Oh, yeah.
So what do you use it for? Do you use it to see the upcoming pitcher, or do you use it for your own swing? What do you use it for?
I mean, for the own pitcher, you know, like you kind of get a feel of what you're gonna face. It's something that is huge. You know, it's a great machine that you can take a lot of advantage for, even like to the point of like kind of getting some reps for your timing, and for pitch recognition, for many different ways. It's the closest thing to a pitcher that you can possibly have right now.
A big question. Well, it's simple on the surface, and you can take it wherever you want. What is leadership to Julio Rodriguez?
To me, well, my personal idea of that is just kind of helping everybody around you get better. You know, helping everybody around you get better, but at the same time, kind of not really try to why the leader would do, like try to do things like that. Me personally, you know, I kind of had like a little bit of experience with that, and I kind of feel a little bit. I can say I was a little bit guilty of that a little bit. But it's just like being yourself, you know, and like, you know, some point you're gonna like get somebody on the wrong side or like do something that might be just unique to you, but that's fine. At the end of the day, everybody's different, and to me, that's what it looks like. Gonna help everybody while you get better and like be yourself along the way.
I just want to make sure I understand. When you said you could be a little guilty of it in the past, do you mean of trying to be someone you're not, or of talking too much to lead? What do you mean by that?
Kind of, you know, it's when you're put in a position that you kind of sometimes want to feel like, oh, what somebody being in this position will do. You know, kind of when you don't know.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, just be yourself. You know, be yourself, and like what it will be, and like at the end of the day, that's the most authentic thing that you can do.
Yeah, it makes some of these questions interesting. We spend a lot of time talking about you, which has to be weird, right? We spend a lot of our time talking. You're the best, most talented guy on the team. You know, when the team is hot, oh my God, Julio is amazing. When the team is not, why isn't Julio hitting? I mean, this is sports radio in 2025 with all of its pluses and certainly cons and minuses as well. In all of that research and looking at it, one of the things that I just found is you swing at a lot of pitches. Is that by design? Do you want to swing at a lot of pitches? Would you like to swing at fewer? Is that where the analytics get hard? Could you talk me through that a little bit?
I just feel like I don't necessarily want to say I want to swing the answer. I just feel like I want to be damaged more than I can be damaged, and I want to take the pitches more than I have to take the pitches. That's kind of a simple. I don't want to say, oh, I want to like out of X amount of pitches, I want to swing X amount. Like, it just, you know, when I'm ready to damage, get something that I can do damage with, and whenever I cannot do damage, just kind of put it down the shoulder.
How many pitches in an at bat do you see that you can do damage on?
I mean, not very many. Especially as the year kind of keep going by, you know, and like they know that I can do damage. So
is it one, maybe?
Depending on the day, you know, maybe there's one days maybe you get one. There's other days that you get more. So it just depending on the day, but that's just kind of something to kind of keep in mind.
What has been the voice of Dan Wilson?
The voice, I mean, Dan Wilson, as soon as you hear the name, you're talking about a man of character. He has a lot of character. I feel like he goes really well with what we're trying to do here. And, you know, he's a great leader. He's a great leader, and I feel like he has a group in a really good place. And I feel like that's something I can say. I feel like a lot of people saw it playing now at the end of the year last year, but you know, that was just 6 weeks. I'm excited to see what we can do over the all of the season.
Do you think having prior relationship with him, the fact that he's been around, right? He's been helping, coaching, serving, and roving. He's been the broadcast. Do you think having that previous connection helps?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I think it helps because we are already familiar with it. You know, we kind of know. We've been rolling him. I actually on before. You know, I always had a good relationship. I always thought he was a great man. You know, like a good character. I was doing the right thing, and I feel like it was great that he was the one that kind of took the rails on this one.
So he wants to be aggressive. We heard from him earlier this week, and he said, yeah, I want to be aggressive. I want to run. I want to put pressure on the opponent. All of that seems like it should be right up your alley and all of the things that you're great at.
No, 1,000%. I feel like we have to, as a team, we have to push the envelope. We don't have the luxury or just kind of laying back for somebody to do something. We have to push the envelope, and I feel like that's something that is a different that message is great. And that's something that I love for my manager.
He also seems to have created, and Brock's talked a lot about this week, kind of a chill environment here. Maybe a little less intense, a little more relaxed, fewer meetings, fewer running from one place to another. How has that been for you?
It's relaxed but intense.
Yeah.
It's relaxed when it needs to be relaxed, and it's intense when it needs to be intense. I feel like I said earlier, that we're focusing on the right things. We're focusing on the things that we need to do to get better, and you say it's relaxed, but it's more like focus, I would say.
What are the right things?
I mean, winning baseball game. Winning baseball game and building a good culture as a team. I feel like that's what we, that's the right thing.
You said this to Cal Raleigh earlier in the week as well, Julio, and that is a guy that was born and raised due to the 7-year-old license. Born there, 45 years there, Seattle Mariner fan from the time I was 2 years old. And I am a fan first. Do all this, it's awesome, but I'm a fan first. Do you feel the hunger and how bad these Mariner fans are?
Man, I definitely know that. I feel like that's why we try so hard, to do these things. I mean, I know they just see us kind of once we take on the field, but behind the scenes, and so that's why we try so hard. That's why we have all these, little trainings that you can play, little meetings, like you were talking about, kind of everybody kind of trying to push the envelope to keep getting better. That's why Dan sends a message that we got to push the envelope. It's not just because we want to move for everybody, because at the end of it, we're the one taking on the field, and we're the one that's going to feel the pressure from the fans and all that. But we are the ones that have to carry all that and keep on going. Shy away from that, but the mentality is to win.
A lot of those fans were frustrated this offseason. They felt like maybe there were more moves that could have taken place. I thought your comments last week were super interesting. Say, hey, I like my group. I don't care what anybody else thinks. And I think that there's an element of just familiarity with each other. Could you expand on it a little bit? How did you feel about the offseason and where the team is at now?
I mean, like I say, I like the group. I feel like we have what it takes to win, and we're in a really good direction as a team, as a whole organization. Like I say, we're focusing on the right things, and with the group that we have, I think we can compete against anybody. And like I was saying, the last 6 weeks of the year, when things really started to go, we were up there with the best teams in the league. We're doing everything, pitching well, hitting well, and doing all these things. It's just finding that, that consistency, that identity as a team. I feel like we're onto something. We're onto something. I'm excited to see how teams go this year.
It seems like you're pretty impressed with the closing. You see all the best pitchers in the league. You see all the nasty closers. You've seen all those guys. Why did Mooney stand out there?
I mean, just like I said, I was saying, even though you have all the killers in the league, but I don't think none of them has this stuff in their command that he has, with the mechanics, with the overpowered fastball, with his slider, with the location, with the consistency, all that, I just don't see anybody out there compete packages like that.
Last thing for me, Julio, I kind of feel some of these young guys. I remember 5-6 years ago, there was this kid named Julio Rodriguez, and he sat in the stands, and he'd watch the major league games, and we'd watch you around here, and you had this big presence, larger than life. Kind of feel like there's some young bucks, like this last Montez Hill, and Arroyo, and Cole Amherst. There's some young bucks that kind of got some juice to them.
Yeah, no, they're doing the right thing down there. They're doing the right thing, and I'm sure once the time is set for them, they're going to be big help. Yeah, they're doing the right things, thinking the right things, and it's gonna be fun once they get up.
Any of them come ask you questions?
Yeah, I talk to them a lot. Especially with Michael and Lass too. I talk to him quite a bit.
That's a big dude.
Yeah, he's larger than me.
No, so when you see that, I mean,
you say El Gigante?
He's large.
Yeah.
So what do you say to him? I mean, like, what do you tell somebody who's big like that and how to make it work 162 times in a game like this?
I mean, he's young, at the end of the day, he has all the talent, but there are things like he has to learn. You don't know what you don't know. That's kind of like the whole point of that. Just kind of talking with them. They're always going to have questions. You always want to be open with them because at the end of the day, those are the guys, those are the kids that they're going to come up, they're going to have the talent and have the mentality to lead by the team in the right way. So you want to have those group conversations, that good relationship, because they're going to end up being your teammates at some point.
I'm sure that Brock, you were asking about all the different years. You go back to that first year. How much would you have liked the ABS challenge system in that first year?
I mean,
if that comes to the regular season next year, will you be somebody that will do that, or do you think, man, it's just too hard to figure out that outside?
I mean, I just did it one time here.
Yeah.
I mean, there are just times that they're just clearing the balls and they're just gonna get it wrong. But I think it's gonna be seeing the reaction of the umpire. They're not gonna like it.
I don't think so. I don't think CB likes it very much. That's for sure.
No.
Thank you so much. It's always great to come down, even with the sunglasses on. The charisma oozes out of you, and it's great to see you, man. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, that was Julio Rodriguez. Yes, we know the audio was not perfect. Sorry about that. We had a little tech malfunction here while we were recording. No, it's not. It just happened. I mean, something weird obviously happened with it. We apologize. It was great to sit down with Julio. Here's the good news. If you wanted to understand it better or were frustrated at any point along the way, the video version of that's the audio that came from the video. Okay, we had our regular audio through our mics. We had other audio that came through the video recording. The good news is the video recording comes with captions. So if you want to relive that but actually be able to understand it a little bit better, go to YouTube. Is that the spot to find it?
Yeah, Justin's going to have the video.
Okay, go to the Seattle Sports YouTube account, and in about 5 minutes.
About 5 minutes. It's going to be posted in 5 minutes.
Posted, and you can see all of that with captions to make it just a little bit easier to understand.
And you can see Julio.
And you can see Julio, who was... Yeah, there's a texter here that says, I'm not quite ready for aloof Julio. I know it's coming, and I wish him the best, but I just wasn't quite ready for it. Would you say that's coming?
Oh, I don't think he's ever going to be aloof. I don't think that's ever in his makeup. Certainly not with his teammates. Certainly not with you, the fans, and the no-fly zone and interacting to all of that. But maybe with the media, a little bit more distance. Maybe with those that want a piece of him, maybe a little bit more distance. Aloof Julio, I'd be surprised at that. But a little more distanced, a little more edgier Julio, yep, I think that is a natural evolution with a superstar.
Yeah, I mean, the flip side of that is you got to play like a superstar in order to get some of that superstar treatment and grace. Julio's in a weird spot where he's already been treated like a superstar, whether he's put up the numbers or not. All right, we've got 1 hour left here in Peoria. That means it's time.
I got to do it.
The people have been waiting. They've been clamoring. The Buff Dude Report.
Yeah.
The Brock Heward specialty is next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
When a team tells you over and over and over and over, whether it's John Schneider saying, he's our guy, or it's Mike McDonald saying, we like Geno. Don't know why it's such a big discussion. When a team is basically screaming at you, we're going to extend this guy. We really want to keep him. I think at that point, you just need to accept, okay, what's the real conversation we need to have about Geno then? Because it's not going to be whether or not he's here.
He's going to be here.
Yeah.
This is the guy, and I've been trying to prep y'all for this, but for some reason, y'all don't want to listen to me.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Are you looking at diversification and stability with your investment portfolio, especially with the volatility right now in the stock market? Hi, I'm Scott Rierecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years. We've had 0 investor losses and have an average double-digit return since inception. Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given market conditions. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Legacy's Northwest fund also accepts IRA accounts as well. Find out why over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Get in touch with us today. Legacy's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited opening for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For over 55 years, you've trusted us for roofing, siding, windows, decking, and gutters. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The wait is over. Hey, it's your old pal, the Graz here, inviting you to come celebrate the grand reopening of Jackson Park's driving range. They are throwing a party and everyone is invited. They'll have new range balls, mats and targets, music on the range, and face painting for the kids, so bring the whole family. Free top tracer all weekend long as well. That's right. Free top tracer all weekend long as well. How about free 10-minute lessons after 2 p.m., food specials, and of course plenty to drink. All day Saturday, the grand reopening of Jackson Park's spanking new driving range.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through March 4th, get fast, reliable Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 1 year with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included when you add an unlimited mobile line. And ask how to get an eligible free 5G phone with trade-in. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Requires pre-post bill and auto-pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required. Reduced mobile speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Data thresholds and actual internet speeds vary.
Crafted with precision and timeless elegance, Chris Craft boats are the epitome of sophistication and performance. For cruising, surfing, and pure pleasure, visit the new Chris Craft Northwest showroom on Lake Union during the open house through March 1st.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to see you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
It's our final hour. Our final hour in Peoria. Makes me sad. I love it here. This is so fun. Every year, life-giving, Brock.
It
This is life-giving.
It is. This is when Captain Tom turns to me and says, 1 hour. Boat's got to get out of the water. We got to do it. You got 1 hour on the clock. That's it.
Hurts.
Yep.
It hurts, but it's going to be a good hour. And, Brock, it's time to let you do your thing. You've been walking all around this camp for the last week.
Mm-hmm.
You've been talking to guys, throwing footballs with guys.
Not
a little
very
bit.
mildly.
I mean, I don't mean gunning footballs at
I'm going to be
them.
throwing a football to a guy in a little over an hour.
Right.
His name is Lyle Goldstein.
Yes.
Who joins us right now. Good morning, Lyle.
I'm going to talk quiet. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
How are we?
You enjoy dinner last night?
I did enjoy dinner last night. It was great. You
Wow.
did a nice job, Brock.
You're not planning to go into being a reporter, are you?
Probably not.
Yeah, I could see that. You're not very observant. You managed to walk out of that meal last night, and when I suggested to you that maybe Moore had one too many, you were like, really? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Are you just totally unobservant? What's going on?
No, I went to Arizona State. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
And there was nothing out of line whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I thought it was fine. You guys were giving it too hard of a time.
Thank you.
What?
I'm with you, Lyle. Thank you. Thank you.
What a kiss up.
Okay, Lyle.
All right, Lyle, it's time. Brock he's been walking around, checking out all the guys here, and now he's going to give the Buff Dude report.
Hey, where are my buff dudes at?
The 75th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Russell Wilson, quarterback, Wisconsin.
He's looking for dudes with guns and shields and abs made of steel.
Where's the buff dudes at?
Here's Brock Ewert with another buff dude report.
That's a weird football version.
Oh, the great Don O'Neill. We love you, Don.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, it was 16 years ago. A young Brock Ewert came down here looking for buff dudes. He turned to one Mike Salk and said, where are they at?
Where are the buff dudes
Because there were none of them. I couldn't find them back then. Those guys like Brandon League and J.J. Putsy and all these, guys, just normal humans. Well, not anymore. If one thing has changed more than anything else over 16 years, the dudes have become bigger, stronger, and faster here in Mariners camp. It was 2 years ago. First game of the year, I went down to the University of Texas. I walk in their practice facility, lots of short shorts. That was kind of spandex short shorts. Turned to the strength coach and said, what do I have here? All I am seeing are power sources and thighs. And he's like, that's how we grow them up. That's how we train them up. And guess what? Texas makes runs into the college football playoff over the last couple of years. I turn my eyes here in Peoria, Arizona, and you know what I see a lot more than I've ever seen before? Quadzillas. Power sources for days. I'm approaching this buff dude report like Daniel Jeremiah is going and approaching his tight ends. Two different groups. I got buffsters and I got quadzillas. I got buffsters in one side. I got quadzillas on the other side. Lyle is all about the quads. It's why he wears the short shorts.
Right.
He's got the dimple above the knee. You see it. It just jumps out to you like, wow. Look at that guy's thighs. So you can add on to this, Lyle, if you would like to. But I'm going to start on the back end. Two kind of more veteran guys that aren't the young bucks with them. But don't minimize Andres Munoz's thighs. Do not do that. That is a mistake. That former triple jumper from Mexico, ground forces through the atmosphere. That guy creates it from the ground, and he does it with some thighs, just like his buddy Greg Santos. Those two guys, Gregory Santos and Munoz, on the back end of it. I'm going to get to the young bucks. I'm going to get to the other quads, but please don't minimize the strength of those guys' legs.
I would never.
Okay, good.
I did notice Munoz looked like he was in really, really good
Really
shape coming
shape.
into camp.
Best shape he's been in yet. A little leaner up top, but nothing lost down on the backside. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other quadzillas. Tyler Locklear, locked and loaded.
I thought he was forearms.
He's Popeye's forearms. He's some nice traps, but he has got legs for days. Agree?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Okay.
I can buy into that.
Michael Arroyo.
Yeah.
Oh, little running back. Don't look at me that way with his one bad at bat. I know he's hitting $111 the first week.
Looking at you in any way. I'm agreeing with you.
But Arroyo he's got running back legs, just powerful sucker.
Yeah.
Harry Ford. Yikes! Don't call him Henry. Harry Ford's got some pistons that can fire, and he has got some serious explosiveness. And unlike some of these guys, he's off to a good start in camp. Is he a full-time catcher?
Yeah, he is. I mean, they always said he has the chance to play other positions if they chose to go that route, but they've stuck him at catcher from the day he was drafted and haven't really wavered off of that. He played a few games in left field last year, but for the most part, he's a catcher.
They want him to be a catcher.
Yeah.
Most athletic catcher we've ever seen here.
Yeah, I think he's going to be an athletic catcher somewhere else before it's all said and done.
Yep.
But, yeah, I agree. Certainly an athletic dude with a pretty good build.
And two of the last two Quadzillas are two of the top 100 prospects that got invited to Major League Camp. We sat down with one of them yesterday. I rewatched that video, Salk. He is Jared Kelnick's normal younger brother. Yeah. That's Colt Emerson. And upper body is not overwhelming. It's not like Locklear by any means, nor the Buffsters I'm going to get to. But the legs, he does not miss a Russian splits. He does not miss the Bulgarian deadlifts. He does not miss the one-legged squat. He does not miss the squat, the goblet squats. Dude's got some serious quads. And then lastly, Las Montes.
360 says this segment makes my skin crawl.
Well,
hearing Brock say short shorts and buffsters in a quick span equals volume down.
That's what I'm here
just
for.
a little too breathy on the locked and loaded.
Yeah, just shut your mouth and just appreciate it, okay? Lastly would be Las Montes. Maybe not only the longest thighs. I mean, he's 6 foot. What do they list him at? 6'5", 6'6",
6'12".
Yeah, and it's a lot of legs. Him, honestly, that's where you feel the youth of Emerson and him, and you compare him to like a Julio or these guys that grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Most of that growing up is in the upper body because the lower half is just really, really powerful.
All right, I like all those. I mean, I've got a couple of my own, but I'm going to let you keep going because I don't want to step on your toes.
No, we have like 2 minutes left. Why did Brock ask you to come on this segment? He's not going to let you
just
talk.
so he could dominate it himself.
Do you have any more Quadzillas? Any Quadzilla you'd add to that list, or are you good there?
Brian Wu?
Oh, yes. Gosh darn it. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he walks by us every day. He's going to get the ball tonight. Dude has legs for days. Okay, here's my Buffsters. 1, 2,
Where
3,
does Rowdy
4.
Tellez fit on this list?
Not on this list. He's mass. He's what I
That's
call
a
a
different
mass of
thing.
humanity.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, not
Different.
necessarily a Quadzilla nor a
different
Buffster.
vibe.
Julio's still on the Buffster list.
Yeah,
there's,
I would hope.
Yep,
He kind of leads the pack.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's as lean, which is great. I don't need him as lean. I need him to sustain health over the course of the season. Julio is right there atop the Buffsters list. Your buddy Randy Arozarena is on the Buffster list. He's a strong safety. You love him, and I've realized this because he's got a little bit of the bow-legged. He's got a little French bulldog to him in his legs. He's got a little bow-legged, but dude is an NFL kind of free safety, strong safety up top. Ben Williamson, he may not be liking testosterone. He's not taking testosterone. He's taking creatine. But Ben Williamson is not only the legs, dude's got shoulders.
Yeah, he does.
And he's got kind of a wide head, too, face that just kind of fits atop the shoulders and right on top of the legs. And then lastly, have you seen Dylan Moore? Have you seen Dylan Moore?
I have.
Mora, have you seen Dylan Moore? He is a beautiful
I believe
man.
Salk said everyone in his household has. I think, yeah.
Yeah, he's a beautiful chiseled man. Like he's a good-looking dude. He is in great shape. He does, to me, look like, and I'm going to ask him before I leave. Well, I probably won't. He won't be here before then. He looks like he's added a good weight. Like it's if I'm going to play every day and not be a utility guy, and I've got a chance to play second base and kind of lock this down, he looks to me like there may be 3, 4, 5 pounds of muscle added to it.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of see that a little bit too?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Quadzillas, Buffsters, Lyle, anything to add? Okay, great. Okay, there we go.
We thought Ty Pete looked like he was in awesome shape, so I'll add him.
Brock didn't see Ty Pete.
I did. No, I saw him interviewing him,
good.
and I
All right,
actually
good.
saw him walking over there. He's an athletic dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd put him on my athletic list and certainly watch list to one day be a Buffster or Quadzilla.
Anybody else we need to mention before we move on here?
I think the big couple on my list were Munoz, Wu, Julio, Dylan Moore. So you hit them. Brock hit them.
Wait, we have a couple of good
Still
texts here.
got it.
First of all, the 206, I don't know what this means, says, I just switched to the video view. I've never seen Lyle before, so I just saw him for the first time. Does not look at all what I imagined him looking like.
Well, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Is that a little bit of the veinage in the bicep that you're seeing right here?
Lyle's on the buff, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry. I touched his arm. Oh, gosh,
it was
don't touch
creepy.
anybody.
Yeah, please
oh,
stop
please.
stop
Don't ever
touching
touch
everybody.
And then
Bryce.
we also had one from the 206 that says, a scrub is a guy that thinks he's fly, and also known as a buffster.
Well, a couple of those guys may end up in that category when it's all said and done. All right, good buff dude report this year, Brock. Way to bring it. Yep.
I mean, got a lot more to work with.
JP's not in your buff dude report?
No. He's fine.
Kind of a tall drink of water.
JP Crawford?
Yeah, he's so much taller in person than you think.
For a
when you see him
shortstop,
out on the field. That always jumps out.
There
to
you
me.
go.
All right, 45 minutes left or so in the Brock and Salk experience down here in Peoria before Wyman and Bob take over next week. We'll come right back with everything you need to know, including some pretty important sound from John Schneider yesterday as he spoke to Geno Smith's agent and told us exactly what that conversation is going to be like. That's next on Brock and Salk.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messingthorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Calling all pickleballers, Champions of Change and Safeway announced a multi-city pickleball tournament, including celebrity games with Seahawk legends Doug Baldwin, Mike Bennett, Cliff Averill, and more. In collaboration, Nourishing Champions campaign will be raising awareness and accepting donations to provide nutritious foods for student athletes in under-resourced high schools. You can help by donating at your local Safeway checkout. Open to all. The tournaments are in Seattle, Lacey, and Spokane. Register today at championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Discover LeMay, America's car museum in Tacoma. Explore 300 world-class cars, 100 years of history, and the Shinka exhibit with 50 iconic Japanese sports cars. Thrilling race simulators and fun for the whole family. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season's first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 2nd at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
It's time to go all in at Toyota of Kirkland. All in on the largest savings opportunities on the largest inventory of Tacomas, Tundras, Prius, and the BZ4X. The incredible team at Toyota of Kirkland is all in on your car buying experience. They'll set you up with a test drive and you can take that car home on the same day. Come on down to Toyota of Kirkland and get all in on the best deals with the best inventory. Check out their wonderful showroom today or go all in online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
O'Brien. Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Take your game day experience to the next level with a Mariner Suite. Suites are perfect for birthdays, anniversaries, client meetings, and that company outing you've been trying to plan for months. Enjoy first-class catering, VIP parking, custom setups for 14 to 400 people, and more, all with the help of a dedicated Mariners rep. Suites start at $125 per person, and season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve now at mariners.com/suites.
Munoz strikes out the side, and the ball game is over.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
It's been a pretty fun week here for us at spring training, and we'll go through some of the takeaways and things we've noticed and conversations born out of a week here coming up next. Mariners did play yesterday, 2 games, even better than one. Jonathan Diaz started in one. They got blown out 8-0. The home squad, they also lost 6-4 to the Giants, but I think what the real takeaway there was Bryce Miller going out, humming 98, struck out 3 of his 7 batters, and looked like, okay, that's just another dude who's going to be part of that herd that really is the center focal point of this team.
Yep, and we'll get to see kind of the 5th and final one, right? We will get the call tonight, so we've gotten a chance this week to see all 5 of them. I think the one thing, and this will be in our tidbits, takeaways, kind of cherry on top, that the one thing you felt it from these pitchers in particular, is we're going to be ready to go game 1. It's not, like, hey, let's slow build and then maybe build up in April. No, it's go time. And we're going to make sure when we get the ball the first time and the first start of the season, not that they're going to throw complete games, but it isn't going to be like, whoa, I don't know, 80, 75. Like, nope.
Well, especially for Brian Wu, who I think, was bummed about the way last year started, felt really good about how it ended, and I'm sure would love to start on that kind of trajectory. Offensively, after those 3 explosive games, the offense come back to earth a little bit. There was a nice highlight, cut 2, as Ryan Bliss showed a little of his pop.
Here's the 2-1. Swung on, lifted, center field, hit well. Lee is back. He's at the track, goes to a slide, and he makes a sliding, tumbling catch. Or no catch. Around third base is Hunt. He's going to score. Bliss into third. The throw goes over the head of the third baseman off the Mariners dugout. And Bliss is safe at third.
Yeah, they gave him a triple on that. You also had a really sparkling defensive play by Ben Williamson on a ball up the middle that he came all the way running in past the pitcher from third base and made a heck of a play. So that was yesterday in Mariner spring
Still the
Eddie
Vedder Cup tonight, or they don't pull that out?
I don't think so.
Training?
No. Doesn't count.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Is Geno Smith going to be the quarterback of the Seahawks next year? It's seeming more and more likely by the day. John Schneider joining Wyman and Bob yesterday and was asked specifically where things are at with he and the quarterback. Cut 3, he gave you a pretty good look inside.
We'll be meeting with him, with his guys tomorrow, and we hope to, get an extension with Geno. And Geno knows he's our guy. We love him, and we want to keep going forward.
And remember, that can be announced. He's not an unrestricted free agent where deals get done. You get to kind of the market and feel for the market, but you got to wait to announce it. He's one of your own, and he's under contract here and still under contract next year. And, if they're able to find a way to get that done, it'll probably be, who's the newsbreaker for? Is it Jay? Who typically
could be Jay.
Glazer usually breaks.
Could be a Pelissero.
Could be Pelissero, Jay,
Sometimes
Shefty.
it's a Schefter.
And that meeting is today, and honestly, quite honestly, probably
Schultz.
right now. Probably not Jordan
He
Schultz.
broke news yesterday. He's the guy who had that Rayshon Jenkins is.
Rayshon what?
That's Rayshon
Gosh, that's a good pregnant
Jenkins.
pause.
Thanks. That he's going to be seeking a trade, and the Seahawks have granted him that opportunity.
Have we figured out why you've screwed up Rayshon Jenkins and Jennings? Was there a baseball player named Rayshon Jennings?
I doubt it.
Was there a running back named Rayshon Jennings?
No.
Is there somebody you played against at BB&N named Rayshon Jennings?
No,
okay.
Probably not. Sometimes people screw up names, Brock.
Will Tuku.
That's different. That is an inability to say a name. I'm capable of saying Rayshon and Jenkins. I just keep confounding whether or not it is Jenkins or Jennings.
I got you.
Which is a totally different.
That's why we're here for it.
Totally different affliction.
And we're all here for it.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
You bring in Trey Smith, there's a decent chance I'll call him Trey Brown or something like that. But he's not going to come here. Trey Smith, the big guard in Kansas City, going to be franchised. So
yeah, that kind of felt like a pipe dream from the onset.
Sort of the same thing. Remember a few years ago with their tackle? Remember we were talking to our guy Carrington Harrison, like, oh, maybe the tackle will be here, and he's like, no. They'll franchise him or they'll sign him.
And I think
no chance.
After that Super Bowl performance where Mahomes was under siege from beginning to end, probably shoring up and making sure you protect him as he gets older, top priority. They will make that a priority. That's just a placeholder for the biggest deal, more than likely in the history of the NFL for a guard. That will give him a starting ground. He won't go anywhere. And then the rest of the guards will kind of funnel off that big number.
You got to watch some combine yesterday. What did you see?
I saw exactly what Daniel Jeremiah said. Meat and potato draft, and the meat and potatoes start yesterday, and they finish on Sunday. Yesterday was all the D linemen, the front seven guys. The O linemen come around on Sunday. So many big athletic guys. I will say this, like looking into some of their numbers, kid out of Georgia tested off the charts. D tackle ran like 4.68 at whatever. Very little college production. Right, a lot of these guys, the athletic underwear, like the off the charts numbers, it's not backed up by the numbers. Shamar Stewart, the big DN out of A&M, at the absolute tip of the spear of that. 6'5", 270, jumped 40, ran 4.59, and had in his career 4.5 sacks.
Why?
Multitude of reasons.
I mean, especially when all we hear is how bad all the offensive linemen are in college.
Yep.
Why isn't there more production?
I think there's a multitude of I don't think there's one simple answer to that. I think there's coaching changes. I think there is some NIL money. I think that there is, in college, a lot of spread, and the ball does come out, and it's an RPO world, and it's trying to just, pin your ears back and rush conventional stuff. A little bit harder to do at the college level. Less games. Injuries for some of these guys, bouncing around. A number of them, Salk, started their career in one place. 5 years at Miami, finished my career at SMU. 4 years here, 2 years there. So just not a lot of growth and continuity, probably a part of that.
All right, that is everything you need to know this morning. Cal Raleigh was also named the Sports Star of the Year, Male Sports Star of the Year. Female Sports Star of the Year went to...
Jessica Campbell?
No, she was the sports story of
Jordan Childs.
Jordan Childs. I keep wanting to say Jordan Lyles. Is that a person?
What are you doing?
I don't know. We're in the final half hour. We're coming down the stretch.
Is that a person?
Maybe
No.
on fumes.
That's not a person?
Maybe a little bit on fumes.
All right, well, I'll tell you what.
You know what we're going to do? I'm going to pull one of
wake us
those.
up.
I'm going to pull one of those hurdles out.
Please don't do that.
Have you ever worked on your hip mobility
I'm
and
not
stuff?
gonna do that with you.
Your back mobility?
Coming up next, I'm going to
Jordan
talk.
Lyles is a free agent who played for the Rockies at
Thank
some
you.
point.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you
Not
know him?
crazy. I know who he is. I know that there's a baseball player named Jordan Lyles. So thank you. Not an insane human being over here. You can see why I would confuse those two. How dare you?
And I will tell you, I screwed up. I left off the Buffster of Buffsters.
The Buffster of Buffsters?
I totally screwed this up.
Ooh.
I'm going to tell you after the break.
All right, we'll do that, and then I'm going to have a conversation that you're not supposed to have on the radio.
Oh, great.
It's coming up on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
It sure seems like Geno Smith will be back with the Seahawks in 2025. Two things we heard this weekend that tell us that. First, Mike McDonald's interview with Fox 13.
Geno's our quarterback. I don't understand the conversation.
Tom Pelissero had this to say.
The Seahawks appear to be all in on Geno Smith for 2025.
To me, it's obvious. Geno has to be the guy. You're in a position where you're not going to draft him. You can't still get a quarterback late and hope you develop. But Geno has showed he can win you some ball games.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at ProSculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
The wait is over. Hey, it's your old pal, the Graz here, inviting you to come celebrate the grand reopening of Jackson Park's driving range. They are throwing a party and everyone is invited. They'll have new range balls, mats and targets, music on the range, and face painting for the kids, so bring the whole family. Free Top Tracer all weekend long as well. That's right. Free Top Tracer all weekend long as well. How about free 10-minute lessons after 2 p.m., food specials, and of course plenty to drink. All day Saturday, the grand reopening of Jackson Park's spanking new driving range.
Washington State ranks number 5 in the country for auto theft. The most high-risk vehicles are Kia, Hyundai, Ford F-150, F-250, and F-350. Help keep your car safe with these simple and important tips. Don't leave your car running unattended. Park in well-lit areas. Lock up every time. Keep valuables out of sight. Use an anti-theft device like a steering wheel lock. Share this information with friends and family. Prevent the theft and keep you and your vehicle safe. These tips brought to you by the Washington Auto Theft Prevention Authority.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season's first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 2nd at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Usually takes so much better notes, and actually I took decent notes today.
That's good.
Yeah.
Seitz? Kevin Seitzer?
Kevin Seitzer. Let me see. Kevin Seitzer. Kevin Seitzer.
Not on that list.
Kevin.
All right, just checking.
No, Bueller. No. One of the most, right there with Dylan Moore, truly, one of the most rocked up dudes in this camp. And it's incredible because he's, I believe, about my age, close, older. Mike Cameron.
Oh, man.
Mike Cameron is jacked for days. Absolutely rocked up muscle. Mike Cameron is
100% true.
I mean, honestly, I think he's buffer than Julio or Ben Williamson or Randy's big. Like, he is absolutely jacked.
Michael Saunders.
Nah.
Saunders looks good. Dude, he's filled out. Dude, you're crazy. Saunders looks
Trust my
good.
eyes. Trust me.
That combination of Ichiro, Mike Cameron, and Michael Saunders looks like they could make a pretty good
Ichiro's calves
fast pitch softball outfield right now.
Ichiro's calves are not human.
Those three guys can both run around and pick it a little bit.
They still
You
could.
put Saunders in left, Ichiro in right, Mike Cameron between them. That'd be a pretty good
Kimmy
little
is
outfield.
just jacked
Really
still.
is.
Okay, here we go. What's inappropriate?
So you're not when you first get into sports radio, especially working at ESPN. They tell you, "Hey, don't talk about two things. There's no upside. Don't talk about politics.
Right.
Don't talk about religion."
Okay.
That's like the rule. When you get to ESPN in Bristol, first thing they tell you, don't talk about politics. Don't talk about religion. And for the most part, I mean, I think that's, that's in a different category.
Sex, religion, and politics. Don't
Right.
talk about it on sports
All right.
radio.
Well, we're not. Okay. Thank you, Brock, for bringing up sex.
Okay.
Your repressed personality
It's
comes
not
out once
repressed,
again. I mean,
not
you call it whatever you
repressed.
want. I'm going to call it repressed.
Okay.
So I don't want to talk politics, obviously.
You really threw him off.
For many reasons. I wasn't expecting Brock to bring up sex. I'd like to talk about religion with you for a moment.
Whoa.
I know. It's not something we do very often.
Wow.
We come from different religious backgrounds. You obviously, it's a huge part of your life, and it's not a major part of my life. I'm Jewish by, upbringing, but I wouldn't say that I don't go to temple. We're not raising our kids specifically that way. It's not a big part of my life. It's a big part of your life, maybe the biggest part of your life, and dictates a lot of the way you live your life. And you know how much I love and respect you in general, but also for that. Because I think there are some phonies in the world, especially with that particular claim, and you're not. You live it. It's meaningful to you. I have more respect for you because of it than you even know. I just think the world of you. Why do you think? Well, first of all, I should say before the why.
Yeah.
Do you think there is a higher proportion of athletes, especially in baseball, but maybe just in sports in general, that take religion very seriously? It's a big part of their life. Do you think that is
that percentage has grown a lot in our 16 years?
I mean, you did the podcast, the Above and Beyond podcast, and talked to a lot of guys about their journey. Do you think, because I get the sense it's a bigger proportion in sports than it is in the among the what are they, the NARPs, the non-athletic regular people? I get the sense there are more religious folks in sports. Do you think that's true?
I think they're more, much like all of these players, Salk, are more empowered. I think that there is more empowerment to put your feelings, your perspectives out there.
Give me that water.
Yeah, you're a little thirsty.
It is hot.
It is getting hot.
Appreciate it.
So I think that there's more freedom of expression in that way for players, and more player empowerment than there has been. I think that a lot of that has been around for many years. When I look up at that board, I look at Alvin Davis, Mr. Mariner in the early 80s, and Chuck and Barb Schneider, right? We lost Chuck, but they were the chaplain of the Mariners, and they tell stories of many of those guys, and know many of them as their young kids that they help foster relationship with and grow.
But we heard stories this week, right? It came up a couple of times this week, and it's one of the reasons I thought it would be okay to chat about it with you. You know, we heard, let's see, first Kevin Seitzer obviously went kind of deep into that, right, and explained how this offseason
door opening, door
wasn't
closing,
sure what he wanted to do,
having the faith to jump through.
Paraphrase him, he basically said, I put it in Jesus' hands, and whatever the Lord gave me, that's where I was going to go. Okay. We heard, I think, Colt Emerson bring it up as well, and some of the faith that he has, helping to guide him and take a lot of the stress off of the day-to-day, and that's probably the thing that got me thinking about it the most.
Okay.
Baseball is such a game of process over results, but then at the end of the day, the results really matter, and that's what you're going to end up being judged on, right?
100%.
So
performance.
Do you think that is, I'm not saying that's why they turn to religion. I don't mean that. But do you think that the religion or the religious part of life that can take, in some forms, a little of the... It can leave a little bit more to fate than it does to free will.
Yeah.
Do you think that helps some guys?
I think so. I don't think there's any question about it in this sport. Yeah, that is a sport maybe unlike some of the others where you do everything right and you're not rewarded. Right. If I did everything right, I made the right read, I threw it accurately, I threw it on time. Sure, the guy on the other end's got to catch it, but you know what? It's not like a perfect throw.
9 times out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
in basketball, you do it right, it's going to work.
Yeah. What did Julio just say to us? Maybe I get a pitch to do damage with.
Maybe one.
So the other ones I got to try to do, and even if I hit it on the screws or like I do everything right, but it just doesn't, it's not there. So I think that's a component of it. I would also say that is, with Dan Wilson, when he used the word, what was one of the first pillars of the program?
Grace.
And it jumped out to Logan Gilbert, who I talked with off the record. Andres Munoz. Again, more, some guys of faith, and they're like, yeah, that resonates. And that's not a word that you hear an awful lot in any sport. One of the first pillars of your program is grace, soft, right? That's what you're going to hear, like Duval, like that's soft. That's not soft. We're going to give each other grace. We're going to love one another. We're going to go out and work our butts off.
But it comes with accountability.
That's exactly
right.
And
I think that is one of the, some of the challenge there, right? Good text, 206 says, having deep faith allows one to believe that their successes and failures are just part of the path.
Yes.
And that,
part of the journey.
That really is baseball encapsulated, especially as a hitter. But in general, that is baseball, where your successes and your failures all have to be put into a context. And I'm sure it would really help to have a firm and real belief that it's all just it's just going to happen.
That's right.
Like it just is what it is.
That's right.
And there's a path laid out for you.
Yeah, that's exactly
I couldn't do that myself. I'm just not capable of it. It's not how I view the world, but it does not mean in any way that I don't respect others who do. I think it would be a real benefit in baseball and in some other sports as well.
I'm not going to scream the word freedom again as I did a couple of days ago, but that ultimately is what you want to get to, is the freedom that comes with knowing, it was often one of my prayers. So I'd be like, okay, audience of one, this isn't about me, right? Let me just use the gifts, the platform you've given me to go out there and just shine and have the freedom to do that. And I do think that is one of my themes. I know you wanted to end this with some of the different themes over the course of the week. That to me was kind of one of my big takeaways. And this is not to diminish anything Scott and the staff. And heck, a lot of them are still here. Edgar is still here, and everybody in the front office. There's a lot of the components. Yes,
Chris Negron.
Yes, they're all still here. But I think the one thing after kind of 9 years of messaging for Scott and the way he messaged and everything was, okay, maybe Dan and Edgar, right, can just kind of free these guys up a little bit to not play under the pressure or play under the constraint and just go cut it loose, right? The good old-fashioned, what my QB coaches would try to say to me all the time and implore me to just go cut it loose. Just go let it rip, And when I played my best, that's how I played. And when you shot that 41 on the back nine yesterday, you just like cut it. You're not thinking about, I don't know, hope I don't
Easy to cut it loose after shooting a 49 on the front. You're not
nothing to lose.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose. Your round's already gone shot to hell. You might as well just play loose and free.
There you go.
Yeah.
So just some of that freedom. That would be one of my big takeaways. I told Dave and Bob that yesterday when they asked, like, well, what have you seen and felt? And I didn't want to project. And I said, you guys can judge this next week, and they'll be sitting at the same table in the same sunshine, talking to, some of even the different players we did this week. But my feeling was, and Shannon said it on Monday to us, like there's a little temperature down and just a little freedom of expression.
Yeah,
up.
and I think when we asked Dan about that, I'm not surprised that his answer was, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, hey, it's still intense and it's still this, because he knows the potential downside of that, the potential side effect.
Are you working hard? Are you doing everything you can? Where's your sense of urgency, every attention to detail?
I don't think it's that. I think it's, are there going to be mental mistakes that go with that? If you're going to be aggressive, and we know they want to be aggressive, and you're trying to turn down the temperature to free guys up and give grace, are you opening the door for more mental mistakes? The upside of what may have been a slightly tenser environment here the last 6, 7, 8, 10 years is that the team hardly ever made mental mistakes. They didn't give games away. Maybe at the plate they did, but they didn't give games away in the field with base running, stupid decisions. That was a hallmark, I thought, of the Mariners over Scott's tenure here. So I'm sure that in the back of the mind of anybody is, hey, what's the downside of this upside? The downside of Scott's upside was maybe not freeing guys up. A little in between. A lot of hitting where you're like,
apprehension.
I don't want to get yelled. I don't want to mess up. Well, you see Scott. You see Scott in the dugout, and he's got that stern face, and you can see him really trying to keep all of the emotion in, knowing that he doesn't want that to get out and affect the way the team. But it does.
But that's just him.
Because
his wiring.
Because these guys are smart. And they read people, and they got a lot of time to just sit in the dugout watching everything around them. Dan's going to be going to be completely the other side of that. But is the downside of his upside? I don't know this yet, by the way. Other than that, we saw a little of it last year. We saw a little with Julio, a little with Robles, a little with like there was just there were some hints at it. And I'm curious to see how he can balance those two.
I think that's fair. I would also say that this thought that Edgar's gonna be the hitting guy, but we're gonna bring in Kevin Seitzer, and Edgar doesn't want to do this like he did the final 7, 8, 9 weeks of the season. No, Edgar's gonna be right there in the boat. That Edgar's here every day of camp. Now, he may not travel on some of the road trips.
I kind of got more of the opposite.
Did you really? Ooh, not
I mean,
me.
Edgar's obviously around. He's with Dan a lot.
And Seitz, and they're in that cage.
I have seen Seitzer around the guys
constantly.
Oh,
yes.
And that relationship seems to be the one that I thought was really trying to be built.
Yeah.
And Edgar, I think, understandably, needs to be the big picture. Hey, here's what we want to do. I'm going to step in when I need to. But if he's not going to travel, and he's not going to be the first one to the ballpark every day, you need Kevin Seitzer to build all of that.
1,000%. But he's not disengaged.
Fair.
Incredibly engaged, present. And then, yes, I think Seitz is a lot of the mouthpiece. And I don't know, Salk, this is 16 of these. And again, this is just our eyes over these 5 days and watching the cage and trying to observe as much as I possibly can. And I love it. And maybe it's a little overanalysis, but I can't remember ever seeing a hitting coach as actively communicating as Seitzer has been this week.
He's very
communicative.
Yeah, he really is.
That son of a buck is.
Well, not just that. I mean, just like he is, of all the hitting coaches I can remember, the most friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, just straight up, just charismatic and friendly.
Yeah.
And when you go through hitting coaches, they tend to be
not quite Eeyore,
no,
but
they tend to be quiet. They sit in the back. They're just flipping balls all day, right? It's just kind of that's most of who we've seen over the years, not just here, by the way, everywhere I've ever been. He's the first hitting coach I've seen that was friendly and outgoing and interested and chatty and all of that. That is
real
just
chatty.
Generally not the profile
Yep.
of that position coach. So, all right, let me ask you a question. We got just a few minutes left here, and Bump and Stacy better understand. They might not get a show today. I might just keep going.
Okay.
Like, I don't want this to end. I want to just keep doing this.
Like you're not going to unplug?
Yeah, like I'll just keep talking.
And you don't think Matt Nelson's
Their
good
show
enough
is just going to keep going?
You don't think Matt Nelson's good enough to turn you down?
I don't know.
That pot down and
I don't
that pot
know.
up?
We're going to
Okay.
find out. We'll find out just how good Matt really
I think
is.
he could find a way to leave you talking and still have the Bump and Stacy show going, and you wouldn't know.
I think that'd be fine. At least I would believe I still had a reason to stay here. Before you came down here, think back a week. Maura, you too. Think back a week.
Okay.
If I had asked you Friday of last week, how many wins are the Mariners going to have this year? What would your answer have been? Dead silence.
90, 90, 87, 84. Those are the previous
90,
4 years.
90, 80,
I was
87 or
gonna say
88. I thought it was 88, but
like
okay.
89 last week, probably.
You would have?
So you thought they were better than they had been last year.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a little on the
I would have said
on the
85.
fence.
I'd have said right with last year.
I just don't think they could start as slow as they did last year.
But I don't know
I
if
don't
they
think
could
it finished as hot as
strong.
they did
Yeah.
last year either.
Yeah, true.
So you would have said 89. Okay. Brock, you would have said 85.
Yep.
What would you say today after being here for a week?
86. Probably.
You got one more win out.
Probably one more win.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
honestly.
You picked up a win.
Yeah, and that might be the difference. That's one win has been the difference the last 2 years.
What would you say after a week of being here more?
I don't know that it's changed that much. I feel like I get what you guys are saying about the optimism you feel being here, but I still am very encouraged by this rotation, and I still feel like there's some questions as far as how the infield and some of the hitting is going to work out.
I was probably a little more pessimistic heading in than you guys were. I think I was in the 82, 83 range heading in because I just see a team that looks similar to last year but took out a guy that had like a couple of wins for them in the final month of the season and didn't add anything back in. Like, you took out Justin Turner. You didn't really replace him with a whole heck of a lot. And, you know, I just am really nervous about the health of a rotation that has been freakishly healthy for the last few years. And so I probably looked at this and said, 82, 83, better than a 500 team, but maybe not even as good as they were last year. They went on a pretty good run. Remember when they got to 10 games over or 10 games up in the division? I probably come out of this feeling better than that. I'm probably with Brock in that 86 range. I'm still not sure that they're as talented as they were a year ago. Or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago.
What about being here? Is it the buy-in? Is it what did you feel that improved?
I think just look at when you see Randy Arozarena walking around, when you feel the pitching walking around, when you get a sense of what Dan is trying to accomplish and the buy-in factor from the guys around him. Kevin Seitzer, I thought, was a really helpful thing to see and kind of understand.
He had to be
process.
the biggest surprise this week.
Kevin Seitzer? Yeah, I think that's right.
An interview that we did not necessarily have in our game plan, and then B, like, holy smokes.
I would agree with you. By far the biggest surprise.
Yes.
Well, absolutely 1,000% right.
I think the biggest thing I liked about listening to him was we heard that maybe there was some, Passon told us last year that there were some players that were maybe a little overwhelmed, a little confused as to what the strategy even was with that shift that they made hitting last year. That mixed messages. And you know, Seitzer said he felt that apprehension and he doesn't want to overwhelm these guys at all. That simplicity they keep talking about, it seems like it's something they're going to actually be able to achieve.
I'm going to say 86. I think I'm with you there, Brock, after being here. But that is subject to a couple of things. You need the pitching to stay healthy. You need the bullpen to take a big leap from last year. And Julio's got to be Julio. I mean, that really, if Julio's not, you're probably right back down to that, 82, 83 win range. If Julio's a really good player this year, and you get a little help from a few of the X factors we talked about, you could absolutely exceed that 86, and 90 or 92 would not be a shock at all.
Well, it'll be
hard. I think it'd be hard to see this team winning more than 93, 94 games.
Yeah,
that'd be real hard to see.
Getting a 90,
I think it'd be hard. It just, unfortunately, as good as the
in a
pitching
division
is,
that's Oakland added and Anaheim
I'm
added,
looking and just say, okay, where are the other star players that complement Julio Rodriguez in the lineup? Where is that moment where you're coming back around and the other team's like, crap. We're going to have to deal with X, Y, and Z again. And you know what it's like. You know what it's like facing Houston. You know what it's like facing Texas. You know what it's like facing the Yankees. You know what it's like facing the Dodgers. You know what it's like facing the Orioles and the Phillies and the Mets. When it comes back around to 2, 3, 4, and you're like, dear Lord, don't give them another at bat or we're going to lose. I don't have that yet. And I am excited, really excited about a lot of what's here. There's a lot of good to really good. But when you know that the Yankees rather have Stanton and Judge, when you know that the Mets are going to have Alonso and Soto and Lindor, when you know that the Astros and the guys, you got to have that. And Julio's got to be a part of that. Randy has probably got to be a part of that. Cal has probably got to be a part of that. And if Randy and Julio can raise to the same level as a Judge and Stanton have been, or Soto and Furcal, absolutely, yes, that's what you need. Lindor, excuse me.
I mean,
not
I
Furcal.
completely agree, and this doesn't help with any of that. But one area where maybe you could see some more stars emerge that we haven't fully gotten to see down here is the bullpen. Like if Brash comes back and looks like some of what we've seen from him before, if Munoz maybe has a little less on his plate this year, if Santos can stay healthy. We haven't got to see any of that. I feel like a lot of the games I've watched, some of these bullpen guys coming in, we have to look up who they are.
The other cool thing about that,
we're not getting the full experience there of what that could be.
The other cool thing about that is it allows Thornton and Spire and those guys to be in lower leverage roles rather than being forced to have to do more last year than they really should have. So there are, when I say 86, that's a range, right? That means if things go poorly, you're down around 80, 81. And if things go well, you're up around 90, 91. Like that's a range where the middle of it is about 86, 87. And so there's a lot of X factors that go into trying to figure out
and
what
you know
that
what's
ends
great
up being.
is next week, Bob and Dave and Lefko are right here. And next week, Polanco should be out there. Pointing to third base. And one of your off-season additions. Solano's going to be getting in some games, and Luke Raley will be back, and these guys will be ramping up their arms a little bit more. And you know who will be here? Seattle Sports will be right here.
Right here, right at the same table.
We won't be. We'll be off the boat.
Huge thank you to everybody who helped put this week together. Lyle and TJ, great to have them around. Justin Barnes put together crazy good videos on all the social platforms for Seattle Sports. Maura Dooley, what a disaster. No, Maura was amazing, even though she's so hard on herself.
Not my best spring training.
Oh, my God. Last night was your best. I'll tell you that much. Brock, it is just great. I can't believe that it was 16 years ago. We really
and we have just as
met
much
for the
fun
second time here
today as we did.
Yeah,
16
we really
years
do.
ago. Maybe
really
even more.
fun. Yes.
To be honest, more.
Significantly
we don't
more.
see quite as well. We don't hear quite as well. Don't move quite as well. It's kind of more fun.
Thanks to the Mariners staff who helped us out a ton. Jordan and Alex and everybody else, Tim, everybody else here who really does put in a lot of work to make sure all of these interviews, we got everybody we wanted this week. Thanks to the players. Thanks to Brady and to Ian back in the studio, Kyle and Kathy and everybody who gets us down here. We really do appreciate it. This was an awesome, amazing, phenomenal, excellent week. So thank you so much. And I won't be coming home. Just to let you know now.
Great.
I'll be staying here forever.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see you at 6 on Monday. Maybe not. Till then, Brock, I'll tell you where the hay is.
Barn.
Oh, yeah. See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Clint Kubiak, your brand new OC, joining us right now in studio. What were some of the weapons here you were most intrigued by, or maybe you kind of started thinking once you knew you got the job, like,
Obviously, it starts with the quarterback. Really impressed with Geno, DK, Jax, Noah Fant. There's a lot of pieces to be excited about, but there's also going to be some new pieces we add to the roster. That's the really fun part of coaching is getting to be a part of guys' careers.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Crafted with precision and timeless elegance, Chris-Craft boats are the epitome of sophistication and performance. Each is a masterpiece designed with superior craftsmanship, exquisite materials. No matter your pleasure, cruising, surfing, or performance from 24 to 35 feet, it's at Chris-Craft Northwest. Look at the rest and experience art in motion. Chris-Craft Northwest. See the difference at the new Chris-Craft Northwest showroom on Lake Union during the open house through March 1st. Visit chriscraftnw.com.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would rather get my teeth drilled than go to a car dealership. However, I recently had a breakdown with my vehicle, and I knew that I had to get a new one. I knew where to go. Wayscar Ford in Auburn. I'd heard amazing things. I knew the GM, Mark, so I ended up going out there. Mark, you're with me right now, and I got to be honest, even knowing you, I was nervous. Just being at a car dealership brings pressure, but you guys really focus on customer experience.
Well, there are some dealerships where you go in and you feel like you're getting jumped on. We don't do that, okay? There's absolutely no pressure at our dealership, period. And we backed it up with a 5-day or 500-mile, 100%, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. We only want to sell you a car if you want to buy one. So if you want a low-pressure experience, check out our reviews. We have thousands of 5-star reviews. You can buy with confidence. Wayscar Ford's been family-owned and operated in downtown Auburn for over 103 years. You don't stay in business that long by not taking care of people.
See it for yourself at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
There she is, founder and CEO of 5. Dave can't